Welcome to another episode of Around the Mage Table, the podcast for the rest of us. This is episode 61, where we are joined by some donkeys. I am going to start by saying hello to our associate on remote. Is that the right one? That's the right one. Ayaski, where are you?
I'm in another room in my house.
Oh, shit. You traveled far for this one. Damn it. I cursed in the first minute of the podcast.
All right, start over.
No, I'm not starting over. No, we'll
Bleep
keep going.
it. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's fine. Whatever. Who cares? Our $7 would drop to 6 minutes.
It's
$6.
Oh, no.
Why are you in your, let's call it, laundry room?
I got a new CPU and I got a new motherboard and a new AIO and I put it all in, and it took me a little bit because I'm still kind of figuring out how to do it. And I went to boot it up and it didn't quite boot up, and it's giving me a red light, which apparently might be normal. I didn't have time to mess with it. It was podcast time, so I had to come and
the podcast don't rest for y'all.
Nope.
Can I just have it aside real quick? My brother-in-law, little brother-in-law, he's 25. Called me today. It's his birthday tomorrow. He's like, "Hey man, can you help me build a new computer?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." And he's like, "I want to get, like a new 4 or 5 series GPU. I need 64 gigs of RAM. Just lists out a laundry list." And I'm like, "Okay, well, how much you wanted to spend?" He's like, $800. I'm like, "Oh my god." Do you
That's
have?
how much
do you
my
have that
computer
same?
was.
Yeah, I know, but you weren't putting the laundry list that he did. But like IO and I know Lithium, you've probably built a computer before, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have people constantly doing that, giving you the champagne diet with the Diet Coke budget?
I don't build for other people.
It kinda, people usually want to play like something easy and they end up kind of overspending. But other than that, I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I don't go out of my way to not do it, but people don't ask me often.
Well, the thing that frustrates me is that he's like a computer science major. He's like going to work as a project manager for some company. And I want to be like, dude, it's like, he's like destroyed his current computer because he keeps telling me it's bottlenecking because he's trying to play things. I'm like, dude, you should know how to fix this problem. Anyway, sorry, man. Just had to complain there for a second. Lithium, how you doing?
I'm all right. Good. Just chilling.
Guys, Lithium broke some big news to us this week. He didn't go to the Adam Sandler concert or whatever show that was in his town.
No, I didn't. I missed the Adam Sandler show.
We had a big Adam Sandler blowout almost.
Well, because some of us like Adam Sandler.
I'll take it.
Some of us don't.
I am not a big Adam Sandler, and actually, I'm not even an Adam Sandler fan. Full stop. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The only movie of his that I like is oh god, I can't remember the name of it. The one where he's the adopted dad.
Big Daddy.
Uncut Gems.
No, well, actually, I do want to watch Uncut Gems, but anyways.
I wouldn't say I like any Adam Sandler movie, but I wouldn't say I hate him because that's just crazy.
I like all his movies.
I said the word hate off camera because I was just trying to smash down all the.
It's on camera now. It's all out.
No. Look, I don't hate Adam Sandler. I think he is a awesome dude, and I think he does a lot for his friends. But I hate his movies. How about that?
You guys are really.
I love his movies.
The Adam Sandler audience of one.
If I had an opportunity to meet him, I would have. But
this will be
it was
our
my
highest commented
birthday.
thing ever. Is that everyone's just coming out standing for Adam Sandler?
No, I'm expecting Adam Sandler to come out and be like, "Hi, I'm Adam Sandler," and you just lost a subscriber.
I don't think he plays World of Warcraft.
I'd be
I could be wrong.
We can get him on the pod one day, maybe. Scrap, how you doing?
I'm good. I just started drinking water. Sorry.
Yeah,
I can't wait to zone out while we do our arranged tier list today.
Well, let's jump into it. You guys ready?
Yeah. Let's
go. I'm not going to say today. I'm not going to say today's a short episode because God knows what happens whenever we say that. Okay, we'll start off talking player housing. We finally, so they snuck it in. All right. So last week's episode, Scrap. You went.
I was crashing out.
You said this fucking $1 billion company, right?
$1 billion company.
They had delayed their player housing with no end in sight, and then literally that next morning they announced player housing's up, right? No warning. So we all rush home.
It's on my rant.
We all rush home. You guys are playing, having the time of your life. I somehow corrupted my PTR file, and for some reason it was downloading at 1 megabyte a second, probably because everyone else was trying to download it at the same time. But I did end up getting in. I might even splice some footage here of us playing.
Nah, you're making it worse.
We're gonna sign a petition to remove
Whoa,
this
whoa.
tree.
Oh, there you go.
Hold on, I'm not done. I keep trying to move it and then. I know. Well, oh, wow, just crashed. But
your tree.
Yeah.
Tree,
but yeah, so just wanted to get your initial impressions. You guys have finally gotten your hands on it. We didn't see, didn't see the entire thing, but we did see a really good portion of it. What did you guys think?
I saw enough to know it's garbage.
Lithian, you've been criticized because you keep saying I don't care.
No,
so you don't
garbage.
care for it?
No, I don't care for it. I think it's gonna end up being just like the Garrisons, where it's like you do stuff in the beginning and then it just goes away and people forget about it. So that's my take.
So what? It's gonna be awesome while you're playing it, I think.
Were the Garrisons awesome when you were playing it?
No, I hated Garrisons.
Well,
they were like
a
chore simulator. So horrible.
That's what this is. You got to farm for all the stuff. And
hope so. That's actually my dream.
When you buy all the things, you have to go into your bags. You have to right click on everything. And it's like, why? Why do I still have to do that?
You don't love the fancy and the excitement and stuff. I'm on the opposite of this one. I love it. I can't wait to
get
my hands on it.
You said you'd love the Pokemon whatever event, and you didn't even touch it.
Oh yeah, I didn't because I was so mad.
Yeah, because you love the storyline. But
yeah,
I don't think player housing is it, man. This isn't it. So
it's not. Lithian, it's not
my
for
personal
you.
opinion. It's my opinion.
Yep.
Scrap's gonna do my house. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it at your house.
So.
Well, Frank, now to go to the correct opinions. Let's talk about how you and I
wanted to give IO a chance.
Okay,
Does he have a correct opinion? At all?
Yeah, I gotta know and I hold on one second.
He's taking a work call.
No, I hate push to talk when I have like a window open with like a notepad.
Yep.
But I got into it. I did make a little bit of a house. I got into the Horde neighborhood. I started making like a blood elfy house with whatever I could with the stuff they gave you. And yeah, I was impressed with how much you could really do with it. It seemed like, and I've seen things other people have made, and it seems like you can really do a lot of it right out of the box, which is pretty sweet. It was nice to be able to get a chance to try it. I do think that once we have our access to our own achievements and stuff, it'll be more fun because, you can actually have the things you earned to put in there.
Yeah.
But I did also notice though, like, after like 30 minutes and I kind of got a little thing set up, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, obviously it's testing, so there's no real reason to stay in there, and it was not going to be permanent, so you weren't going to spend a whole lot of time doing it. But it seems like it's fun. The people who are going to enjoy it are going to enjoy it. I do kind of feel like maybe there's a chance it kind of falls off after a while, but I do think there's going to be a lot of people that really like it and keep playing it. So
I do think they need to introduce more of a gameplay loop than just decorate your house. And that's it. Like, and then like RP in it. Like, there's lots of great stuff for the RPers here. Like, Frank and I were like exploring. There's so many cool little things to find and hang out at. There's like places where you could do a wedding or a funeral or all kinds of shit.
Yeah, we found the dock where they're offloading Horde.
Yeah, and the stage and stuff. So, but the problem is that for us who don't we're not into RP really. Like, if it's just decorate your house and that's the gameplay loop, it's not a loop. It's a straight piece of string. It ends, right? There needs to be something like Animal Crossing, where you need to farm collectibles. Like, I need to work on my farm so I can get a turnip collectible that I'm gonna hang on my wall.
Well, you definitely will have that, right? Achievements.
Yeah, so I want it to be connected to my house and my neighborhood. Like, I need to I have a little mine or something. I have a little farm. I have a little, kind of like Garrisons. So
it sounds like a Garrison.
Yeah, well, I think there needs to be Garrison-like gameplay, to keep me going back there every day. Like, I really want to get this specific kind of tree. I have to actually grow it from a sapling as opposed to just buying a full palm tree.
But I want to be able to get something out of doing that. I don't.
I will farm just for cosmetics for my house. Like if there's cosmetics for my house, I would. Like I totally would prefer if it's not tied to player power at all. If it's just completely like a gameplay loop revolving around.
Well, you have to do Mythic
house.
Raid to get
Attach Abyss trinket to player housing.
No. That's what I think it's going to be different from Garrisons. Hopefully, is that like that was tied in some ways to player power, like farming, herbs that you need for flasks and shit. Whatever. I didn't really do much Garrisons, but like I'm hoping it's like farming. I'm planting a tree and it's gonna become an awesome giant tree eventually. I can't just buy a full blown apple tree. I have to like grow it from a sapling or something, because then I'm gonna interact with it more. Otherwise, I'm just gonna buy a full blown apple tree and plant it and then be done with it.
I've already jumped all over Frank's bed and messed it all up.
We crashed that one person's house. Me and Lithian were rolling around the neighborhood just seeing whose door was unlocked, and we were looking inside their houses, and we walked in and there was a guy in there, and we were like, oh.
He was like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
He was a really nice guy.
But
didn't you crash in his house too? Like the game crashed and you just like sat there?
No. We just like crashed in, and that he was mid decorating his foyer, and we just like appeared in his living room. Like
there was a movable bookcase or something that's supposed to be like a door that Scrap kept messing with, but otherwise we said hi and left.
If it launches, go on.
There's one thing I do hope they work on a little bit is I wish you could go and check out like someone's thing without them immediately like trying to evict you and kick you out. Like
with our guild, yeah, I think with our guild we gotta have an open door policy. Like maybe not everybody's permitted to move shit around, but like you can go into my house whenever. Like
I think so. That's the key kicker for me, right? I think Scrap, you're right, and Lithian, you might be too. I don't think it's Garrison level. I think that's absurd, but I think it will be a string, because like Animal Crossing, and granted, my daughter when I got Animal Crossing last, the whatever New Horizons, whatever it's called, I was grinding the shit out of that.
Yeah, you were fishing for that whale shark every day, right?
Because because like my daughter, she would wake up in the middle of the night and I'd be the one, because I wanted my wife to sleep, she needed to rest. And so I would just like take the night shift and I would just sit in my room. Everyone was sleeping, but like I would be grinding my Animal Crossing. And I played it, I mean, it had to have been like hundreds of hours. But at a point though, where I was like, okay, I've done everything, I've gotten everything. Yeah, I could like nitpick about filling the animal PD or whatever it is, but like I even bought on eBay the NFC stuff to like bring the villagers I wanted to my town, right?
That's extreme.
That's great. And again, if that were all it is, I'm still gonna say this is a success, because this is like even way more detailed than what Animal Crossing allowed me to be. Where it's going to be game changing for me is going to be in the guild environment, right? I think, imagine like Tuesday evening as people are rolling in after work or whatever, and they're in their houses / outside. Like for me, the outside is going to be where I'm going to be spending most of my time decorating. Because it's just like, when the neighborhood feels unique and different, where like it'll really elicit a feeling to me. Is it going to be?
I would love. Oh, sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to say, is it going to be a problem that like, this has been added? I don't think at a cost. Like it hasn't cost us really any money. The sub is staying the same, and the game it's a feature of the expansion that I'm already buying. So like there's no loss for me here, but at the same time, I want to be hanging out here instead of Stormwind, which I think is a good thing. Yeah, the cities might be more empty, but the truth is like with phasing and all that stuff, I'm not really paying that much attention to it being empty or not anymore anyways. Whereas this, if I see, again, not everyone will be online at the same time, but who knows, maybe as the community grows, we get more and more people and we actually have a full neighborhood, that I see Rigo in the mountains, after he's yelled at me on Discord because I don't think Fellowship's that great, that he, he shakes his fist at me and as I'm flying by, right?
Now, what I definitely think, sorry, you finish your thought?
Well, yeah, I mean, for the most part, yeah.
What I think they really need to implement is some sort of like world quest like thing, like archaeology or stuff that really gets me to go out of my little lot, right? Because I want to be able to see like, oh, what Rigo's doing. The one thing I was really impressed by was the size of the island. I was like, holy shit, this is huge. Like, it's awesome. But what I'm worried about is that I'm gonna be stuck at my little plot on my little peninsula, and I'm not gonna really have a reason to go up and check what like the mountain people are working on and stuff, like naturally.
The mountain
but like
people.
let's say there's like an archaeology type thing, like a weekly maybe. I'm like, oh, I gotta knock out my archaeology weekly to get a T-Rex bone. It's like, oh, it's taking me up into the mountains to kind of go look around. I'm like, oh, I'm in someone's, in someone's yard.
I think they'd rather make you do that in the real, like the actual world.
Yeah,
I guess so, but they need to have some sort of gameplay attached to
Imagine
this.
flying by Rigo's house and you see his little battle pet sitting outside and you go, what the hell is that thing? And then you fly down and look at it.
Yeah, but why am I flying over there in the first place?
Because you're waiting for raid to start like we do in the city. You just, I run in circles. I run in circles in the city right now.
Me too.
You know how we go to that hot tub?
We're gonna have a real hot tub.
Yeah, we're gonna have. We need to have a place to hang out.
Dude, I'm definitely gonna have a hot tub at my beach house. Are you kidding me? It's gonna be outside with a trellis over it, like looking out over the ocean.
You're my neighbor, so I could just go over and check it out. And I'm
gonna cut the cameras real quick so I can pull something up. Hold on.
Sure.
You guys can keep talking. I just want to.
I think that'll be that. I mean that's one of the reasons why I'd go and hang out. But otherwise, like once I do my house, or once you do my house, that thing is great. I'm putting that in my yard.
No, you're getting evicted if you put that in your yard. I think that if it launches as is,
a heartbeat, I'm putting this in.
You better not. You're gonna be fucking evicted. The HOA is gonna come for you.
Yeah,
if that is in my line of sight,
until the HOA rules. I'm going to be I'm gonna just slowly point it at you. It's like it's gonna turn and face you over like 6 days.
I swear to God, if my view, I have the hot tub in my little cabana, and I like my view of the ocean is blocked by this fucking thing, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna fly into your hot tub and look to see how, because like I'm gonna make it like look at an angle like at you, like it's like, what is wrong?
Frank was fucking around with like this giant apple tree on the beach lot, like on the beach, and like there's like a cute little boardwalk and like where you can see the lighthouse from, and he completely obscured the lighthouse with his apple tree from the little like this stuff is gonna be fun. I think the couple hours we already had some like really funny moments that I enjoyed. I can see a lot more of that if it launches as is. It'll be enough for me to really want to work on my house, spend like a couple hours, like 10-20 hours on my house getting the things I want.
Way more.
I put all my stuff in the yard.
I would love a grind like aspect to this, and a fun one, not just like a takes a long time grind.
Bro, you don't do dailies. You don't do.
I will for like if it's like I'm just hanging out my house. Like I will in Animal Crossing, basically.
I don't think you will. I think you're just talking. You're just talking.
But let's say they have just like Animal Crossing fishing, and that's it. Like where I can just like fish and get like a whale shark to. I can be like, Frank, look at the whale shark on my wall. You don't have a whale shark, you fucking idiot. Like that would be enough to get you to fish for 100 hours.
That would be a good thing, man.
You're out of your mind. I'm betting right now, if there is a repeating daily or quest or whatever, you'll do it for 2 weeks and then not do it again.
That's because, Lithian, I don't like player powered. Well, that's because dailies don't give you anything after you're kind of like at the level I'm playing, right?
Hold on. Imagine.
Why would I do dailies?
Imagine they just rip the page out of Animal Crossing, right? It's like days of the week, time of the day, right? All that stuff. Certain seasons where you're flying over the water or you're flying over the lake and you see a specific shadow, because I don't think doing the whirlpools is enough, right? You see a specific shadow of a very large fish. You know that is a possibility of being the marlin that you want to put on your wall, right?
I'm foaming at the mouth. You just talked about
exactly,
it.
Right? I want they don't even need to innovate it. Just like that can rip that page out, because we got the battle pet side of it, right? We know that's coming.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if there was something. Again, I don't think there'd be a ton of dev time into that, other than maybe like just how to figure out all the times of days and all that stuff.
They already have all the fish.
This is how they get sued for copying.
I hope it's so good they get sued. Like literally, it would be such a benefit for them to do some sort of seasonal kind of like gameplay loop.
They have that.
That keeps people subbed. Like they already have traders post. I think that's like one of the coolest things they've implemented. I hugely am obsessed with the traders post. I will never unsub just because of that. Like full stop. They've got my money
here,
forever.
folks.
I'm not kidding. Yeah. Like there's like things that I bitch about and things that I'm like, oh, you got me. And the traders post is it.
You got me.
Were you just starting to unsub like a week ago?
I always threaten to unsub. I threaten to do all kinds of things. I'm very dramatic. I won't.
Yes.
Fair.
You can hear it here now. I won't.
Do you guys think that content on YouTube where like, housing tutorials is going to be big?
Oh my
Dude,
god.
I've watched like 100 hours of Planet Zoo content where people are just like, here's how you make the letter A, and it's like you have to use like 3 sticks of grass and like shrink them down and shit. Like this is gonna be insane. Do you see that stupid ass robot?
And the Maxes of YouTube are going to fucking flounder with the hazelnutties coming out of the woodwork saying, "Here is my little reading nook where my
Why
panda."
hazelnutty? A woman?
No.
You think
That's-
she's gonna be
no.
into this?
Yes,
a
I do.
raider. Okay?
Yes, I do.
Like, you're pulling
Wow.
hazelnut into this. No, I do think there's gonna be a new rank of cozy gamer type content, which
Absolutely.
is cool because I feel like you either push keys or raid and like or do a podcast, I guess, and that's the only kind of WoW person you are, right? Like people want to see you do that kind of content.
These string lights alone, I'm gonna be outside just figuring out the best configuration.
Dude, it's gonna be December. It's gonna be Christmas, dog. We're gonna have to have.
God,
oh my god.
Oh man, you're right. You're right.
I'm gonna have a Christmas tree in my yard and in my house. Like, are you kidding me?
This is gonna be terrible.
I'm already like rubbing my hands together. Like I said, if it launches as is, I will spend 30 hours making my house beautiful. I don't care if there's any interaction or anything. I don't care if it's buggy. As it is, it's a fantastic like new.
Dude, I couldn't even get my house to lay flat on the ground. It was floating.
But
beta. It's fine.
Yeah, that's.
I know it's PTR.
That.
Yeah, I know it's PTR, and I get it. I'm not.
I reported the sitting problem.
I'm not worried about the bug. I'm sure they'll work out the bugs.
Yeah,
but
the bugs.
I'm not gonna spend 20 minutes trying to put lights up on my house.
You're an idiot then. Sorry.
Have you seen Dawnbreaker? You really think they're gonna work out the bugs?
Yeah, they'll probably work out the bugs.
They'll probably work out the bugs for this before they fix Dawnbreaker. So
True.
Possible.
Okay. Well, should we move on?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm excited about this. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
It looks great.
Lithian, let's
my
talk about
opinion
something.
For the PTR, awesome.
Let's talk about something Lithian does know a lot about.
Oh, good.
So Legion Remix
do I
is
know?
not something we've talked about yet. I'll be 100% honest. I usually feel like I have a really good idea of everything that is going on. Like Scrap even gave me shit today about the dinar system and how I didn't have an exact piece of information.
You're normally my WoW head.
I feel so in the dark on Legion Remix. I haven't had a lot of chance to play it. I've been traveling a lot in the weekends and all that stuff. But even then, I started playing it and I felt like it was moving a lot slower than I thought it would. Again, I haven't given it a lot of chance, so yeah. But Lithian, you have been pretty headfirst into it. First off, let's ask, how are you feeling about it? Are you feeling like it's been worth all the effort and energy?
I think it's fun. I mean, I play Blood DK in Legion Remix, which is what I play in retail. But you know, I think once you hit a certain level, things get a little bit faster, and you get to level 80 pretty quick, and then you gain player power pretty quickly, and it feels pretty good. Like I could solo keys, I could do whatever, and not have any issue. Obviously, I do it with other people because I want to get it done faster. But I think it's a lot of fun. I'm having a good time with it. No, well, you probably could, yes, but people jump in. The way the raid system works is it's essentially just kind of a chore. You jump into a raid, you just smash it with a group, and you jump out, and you go to you do normal, you do heroic, you do mythic plus or mythic raid, and then you get all the I forgot what the name of the gems and the other things, but you get all the consumables you need to upgrade your gear, so you can get up to 740 quickly. So
I mean, what I want is I want to do Nighthold again, and I don't expect it to be hard.
It's
but you said
it's not hard. Yeah, I blasted through normal, heroic, and mythic plus before Scrap was done with the key that she was working on. So
yeah, I was doing it 12, and he was like, "Oh, I just finished normal. Oh, I just finished heroic." I mean,
you smash through it, and it's a long raid, and you smash through it so fast. So that part kind of sucks a little bit.
Have you played it all?
Oh, a little bit. I was leveling a fire mage in it. Just thought I'd give that a shot. And I don't recommend playing squishy DPS, especially on the heroic world tier. It's very difficult.
They fixed it a little bit.
It's weird because if you're someone who plays it and you're kind of hoping to see the story of Legion. It's kind of sandboxy. They don't really push you anywhere, so you got to kind of figure out where you want to go on your own. I might play a little bit more as the months go on, but I haven't done too much with it yet, other than I got the Mage to 80.
Did you play Legion when it was out?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got the Mage to 80, and then I started doing like the daily stuff, but then I just started doing other things, so I haven't really been keeping up with it.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to when Legion was out in the way that because it doesn't push
You can pick
you.
from stone, right?
You
Like
pick
whichever one.
you pick each continent, you do all the quests, and you know, you have to get the achievements for the
Legion is
do
gonna
infinite
be a favorite
power.
like that.
Want to play a little bit because I know if you get 20s on, I need a portal for Court of Stars and the other one from you can get a portal. I don't remember what it is. Oh, Halls of Valor. I know you can get the dungeon portal, so I'm gonna probably.
What are you doing in Court of Stars that you need to go there all the time?
I don't know. I like having the dungeon portals.
Do you know how
Have it-
often I've
have
used
it.
my Court of Stars portal? I used it when Court of Stars was a dungeon, and then I've never used it again.
And it might be a Court of Stars dungeon.
Until Scrap has to fill our house with Suramar lights.
Actually, you know what? I used the Court of Stars portal to get to Halls of Valor when Halls of Valor became a key, or vice versa. I don't remember which one was the key first, but that's a good aim to have. I'm just letting you know, as somebody who has the Court of Stars portal, you ain't gonna use that bitch. You're not gonna use it. There's no reason to go there.
The portals are nice. The plus 30 transmog is really cool. I'm starting to like the green one a lot. The green.
Yeah, it's you're backing out because you're not gonna get the orange one.
No. I'll get to the point where I can just solo it.
I think the blue one's the coolest one, though.
It's not blue. It's purple.
It's indigo.
Are you colorblind?
It's
not indigo.
It's indigo.
It's purple. It's purple.
Chat.
It's just purple.
Tell us what color it is.
It's just a purple.
So, is it safe
purple.
to say though? Because I mean, there was a huge drama when it launched because some people were accidentally getting the Mage Tower bear and cat forms right off the bat.
Were you not supposed to be able to get that?
No. So again, some context if you don't remember, Scrap. The big build up to Legion Remix was people were upset because the Mage Tower appearances.
Yeah, they said they weren't gonna do Mage Tower.
Yep. People logged in, and like some people said they just logged in and got it. They didn't even do it, like manipulate it. Right?
That's not working.
Now Blizzard fixed it, right?
Little bug.
And
they took it away?
Yeah, and there was like whiplash to that, right? People were really upset and repeating their issue. But since then, though, it seems like it's gone so well because I've not heard another thing about it. Everyone's just like kind of happy with otherwise. So I got to say, like, that's got to be an indication of it going well. However, Lithian, do you want to kind of walk us through what the major problem with, as you said, you were a Blood Death Knight? What was the meta and how did they go about fixing it?
Yeah, I mean, people were doing like 5 tank comps and keys and things because the tanks were pretty overpowered. I mean, you could keep yourself up and you could do massive damage with the Legion weapon abilities and things like that. So they went through and they kind of retuned the healers and DPS so that they can also participate. And if you switch to heroic, like it's what Io was saying, if you switch to heroic mode on a squishy DPS, you got smashed. And so now I think, I don't play a DPS, but now I think if you're playing that DPS class, it's a little bit easier because you're doing a lot more damage and you're a little bit more tanky.
So I guess they've done up to 116s as of today.
What? You can't even do a 30, Lithian?
And
no, I could. I could do a 30 right now.
So it looks like
your mouth is. Let's see
one
the 30.
group has been going through and just pushing
yeah.
past like 106. But I think they were all
What's
tank
the comp?
groups.
Is it all tanks?
I don't. How do I?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see the comp.
Solo is one of the highest comps, but yeah, look at all these all tank.
Yeah,
all tank.
Nice.
Yeah, because you get solo. I mean, you can just run through and solo pretty high with the way the power is set up.
What's the first one on this list with DPS? I don't see any DPS on it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Rhett is the only one.
Yeah.
No, in the comp list with everybody.
Oh.
Like the comps are just tanks, man.
Yeah, they're all tanks.
They're all tanks. I like that
Yeah.
one. 3 bear druids. Sick.
It's
3 bears.
crazy, man.
So, but
And
they're
I
changing
think
that, right?
well, they fixed it. I don't know how the buffs went. Because I don't play DPS, but
Wait, what the hell?
I'll have to ask.
They're not nerfing
need to
tanks,
log
they're
in.
just buffing DPS.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
no,
I saw
they're
your
not
password.
nerfing tanks.
No,
They're
you
not
didn't.
nerfing tanks. They're just buffing DPS.
That's the way to go about it, because everybody hates when you nerf them, you know? And this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Unless it's Survival Hunter. Nerf Survival Hunter.
Yeah, I agree. Survival Hunter is garbage.
Historically, they'd never nerf Survival Hunter.
All right,
Like,
here
a
you go.
couple undead.
Marksman.
ever.
There's a marksman in there.
There's some
Okay.
undead
and
death knights
yeah,
up
undead.
there.
Just because they're probably pulling
Oh.
so much trash that the I guess uncapped AoE.
Wow. Yeah, I mean you're doing massive damage anyway.
But this isn't
But
a
it's-
super high.
It's fun. I mean, it's fun doing super high keys just randomly, whatever. So I haven't been
Three
focusing on
undead.
keys.
And
Yeah.
this
You don't
this
need-
is the tanks that swapped over.
yeah,
You don't
they, yeah,
need-
they were
you don't
probably
need healers.
This marksman's
Like-
the only odd man out that's like, all right, fine, I'll figure
Who's
it out.
that guy?
Like I don't think I see a single healer in any of those groups anywhere.
No, I don't think so.
Healers are
There's
crying.
a disc priest up there, but
Oh yeah, right here.
So we can PI somebody.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
You can
Well,
PI
it's because
the
there's two
prop tally.
balanced druids in there, so he's got to heal those balanced druids. I guess. But yeah,
But-
it's pretty awesome. I'm having a good time with it. So
I don't know. Maybe I need to. I've been playing elemental because I figured I've always wanted to, like, I say main alt an elemental character because I see like how cool their spell effects look. But I do think they.
I thought you were enhancement boy.
Well, that's why I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not doing enhancements because I'm like, well, I might main. I don't want to like burn
Oh.
myself out on it, especially with the changes not being there yet. But yeah, I was like, all right, well, I'll level an elemental. But the other side of it is I have everything at level 80 already, and I feel like I'm just wasting my time leveling again.
Yeah.
But the
so that's
cosmetic
kind of
strength, that's what you're doing.
yeah, and I will probably figure that part out and just get to the finish line of all the cosmetics I
Yeah.
want before it's
That's
done.
what I want to make a chart of like what I want, and then like I'll level
Okay.
character to 80 so that I don't waste any of my tokens.
So this is the problem I
The
have
tokens.
though with it, and I'm sure there are good YouTube videos out there that I haven't paid attention to yet, but I feel like I have no idea what is or isn't the thing to be doing just based off the game itself.
Mm.
Like it's throwing infinite power and infinite knowledge at me, and I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure what those things mean.
Can
Um,
I
Do
think-
what we did, Frank, and just like level in 3 hours, or is that not in this one?
not
Not
by
yet.
myself at least.
Nah,
okay.
no, not yet.
So you get infinite power mostly from pretty much. Well, I don't know if infinite power is the thing you get from like the crates, but I know once you get to level 25 and you hit it up to the heroic world tier, there's like random mobs in the overworld that have like affixes, and if you kill like the tough ones, they give you like more power, and that's the thing you use to power up your weapon in the tree. So if you have the tree far along, it takes more to level up the ability, so maybe you just need more to level up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the artifact weapon changes are cool if you play one character, but they're the same for every character.
Yeah.
I guess. And that's,
Well, so
I
you
guess
told me to go a
people-
certain path, but when I looked it up on Wowhead, it told me to go in a different path.
Yeah, well, if you're a tank, I guess if you're a tank player, like when I go to like a lot of the raids and stuff, I can tell everybody's using the same one.
Yeah.
Because the demon comes out and then you hit fell spike or whatever it is, and it does big damage. But you see like 20 of them just sitting there doing their thing. So it's like, it's ridiculous, man.
All in all, though,
So,
you think it was a enough of a feature to say, let's say Midnight wasn't coming out as soon as we think it does. Let's say there's like that 6-month pause, right, or maybe even more. Would this be enough of a thing to keep people interested in subbed?
nah.
And maybe they might get up to like 200 or beyond.
Yeah,
I
here's the thing. I like that you could shoot to the moon with keys and you can create weird comps and you can do awesome things. That's fun. And I think that'll keep me entertained for a while. Would it keep me entertained for 6 months? I don't think so. But for right now, between now and when midnight releases, I have this. I have our Mythic Plus keys that we do on retail, and I'll probably be pretty satisfied just doing those things.
You still need to get that hard mode in the books.
Yeah, the hard mode.
Scrap, do you want to tell the story what happened?
Did we tell it last week?
I don't
Or
think
no,
so.
we didn't.
No, we didn't.
We did our
'Cause
first
we did it
like
after.
solid attempt. We hadn't done hard mode in a while, and we're all like, dude, we're all like,
Yeah, we did like week
7,
1 and 2,
18.
and that was it, right?
Yeah. And of course we like someone would die like on the first boss or before that. And so it was like, we're not getting this. And then I was like, dude, we're like 7, 18, crushing like 14s, 15s. Like, let's give this another go. It's like free mythic gear and it's fun also. And we had a really good shot at it. It was a super smooth run. We were all the way to the last boss. Not just the last boss. The last 10%.
10 seconds.
Yeah, last 10 seconds, last 10% of the boss's health, and you and Haywire were squabbling because the star went down.
Squabbling.
He had 10% health. Haywire was like, "Don't fuck with this. I'm not fucking with the star. Kill the boss." And Frank was like, "Fuck, get the star, get the star." So Haywire had like a bit of he like was late getting to it, and he was flustered, and he died.
I got the first star because I was like, I'll get the first one.
Yeah.
Keep doing mechanics, right? I'm
But
a
he was
firm.
flustered
Keep
and-
doing mechanics, right? Because until we've got it on like farm where we know exactly what's going on, I don't believe in backing out. Now, in fairness to Haywire's point, we probably would have killed it if we didn't worry about it.
It was
right?
a really close, really tough call.
Yeah.
And in the moment where there's so much going on, that boss is still hard, even like in our, insanely kitted state. Like
we should have died multiple times before that.
Yeah. He probably could have. Yeah. No,
Because
it literally.
You were an idiot on the dragon.
Yeah.
Dude, I panicked. I was in the water for an hour. The game was just like, nah, you can have it.
Bro,
I don't know how I didn't
you
die.
panicked the whole time.
I think I even streamed it, and I called it before we
pressure.
started the fight. I said, Scrap is going to lose her mind.
I said it.
Hyperventilating.
Yeah, it's like you can't give direction to anybody because Scrap is just nonstop,
I talked the whole
just
time.
yapping and yapping and yapping.
That's the
And it's like-
tension. Did you play the clip last week? And I said, put the clip in there of you saying, I'm going to come drive to your house and kill you in real life.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh my
put the clip in
gosh.
because out of
Okay,
context.
it's incriminating.
Well, no, because out of context, it was just a very aggressive me.
Don't take it out of
And
context.
I had a
What?
comment
The
last week
context
saying
was
that I
me-
was a huge piece of shit, so I didn't want anyone else to continue
the
that
context
narrative.
was me talking through a key that I was very anxious about, where I was doing nothing
Oh my
wrong.
gosh.
God.
You were spreading
I think-
spreading the fire everywhere.
Yeah, I struggle on that boss.
I-
Let me just say what's so good about hard mode. Even though we were crushing it because we're so over geared for it, the pressure is intense when you know that just like, one death and nobody gets to the prize, So like during the dragon boss, I forgot how to play. I was like, what is this, a keyboard? Like I don't even know how to explain the level of stress I felt like I was under. And then the last boss, that one doesn't give me a lot of pressure, but I obviously understand the healer has a lot to deal with.
Well, no one can touch the star more than once, so everyone has to do it.
Yeah. I felt like I didn't feel any pressure then because I feel like that boss, it's like my favorite boss, full stop, of any dungeon ever. And so I really feel like me and Celia, we have an understanding that it's going to be okay, that I'm not going to get killed in some silly way. But Haywire, he doesn't have that understanding with her.
What's really funny is you talk about the pressure, but I think only one person was feeling the pressure that night.
Yeah.
Even that dude that you guys ran with, who I don't unfortunately
Myra.
remember his name.
Myra,
Yeah.
who's our
Oh,
question of
Myra.
the week submitter.
Yeah.
He like the first time he ever did anything with you guys, and it was his first time ever doing it, and he's just like chilling, just doing it too, and you're
Yeah.
the only one.
He didn't talk.
it was-
He didn't talk because he
Yeah.
couldn't.
Yeah. I wear
So-
my stress on my sleeve. And I
will
talk
say-
compulsively when I get anxious.
I think that's why Scrap does so well in Pugs, is because she doesn't have 4 other people she's flustering that can hear what she's saying. So she's just like,
Yeah, the pugs are relaxed. They don't know the battle I'm battling, right? Like you guys, I externalize it. So you guys are hyper aware of the struggle. Like as I'm on the boss,
Hyper.
I'm going
capital hyper.
Well,
Yeah, that was what you did. That was exactly what you did.
I was just blowing off steam because I was so under stress. I got hooked on the boss, like when the dragon boss had like 10% health or less, like 3% health left, and I was hooked, and I was at the very edge because I was panicking. I didn't want to put my fire, and I was fully in the water and without any movement cooldowns to get out of it. And I was in the water for like 5 seconds, and it just
Oh
was
my
just
God.
Literally heard the
shark
Jaws
did not
theme.
eat.
Dun dun dun. Dun.
Dude, I
Yeah.
literally like I was going blind. Like I was in so much. I was so stressed.
As much as I am making fun of you right now, I mean, I chose not to do it with you guys because I don't. I'm like the same way. I'm like, I don't want to make like one silly little mistake and just have it be ruined. So
I feel like it builds character, though. You know, like
definitely.
It was a perfect punctuation though to have 10 seconds like left. Like we had spent not even that long. It felt like it was not
less than an hour.
Yeah. And we were like, we got this. Like, this is so easy. Just do
we
this
felt
last
so
mechanic
good.
and we're done, right?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, no, it felt like we were invincible by then. It literally felt like we can't lose. This thing was trash. Like
until Haywire, and then now we got to do it again.
I'm telling you, the pressure.
It was fun though. It was fun.
Small
I didn't feel any
on
pressure.
This is a fantastic thing that they should put into every. I know people, it caught a lot of flack for like the mythic and it's not unpuggable and blah blah blah. I see people pugging it all the time, but like this is a great fun thing, a little challenge that you could do as a group that's feels a little different from Mythic Plus, a little different from Raid, definitely different from Delves, and it's just like a nice little refreshing thing that probably didn't cost them too much to hammer out. Love it.
This is an MMORPG. Like we should be social. We should be doing things as friends. And I think this is one of those things where we can get together, we can communicate, we can talk, and we can have fun. Even though you yap the whole time, like I'm used to it because I just tune it out because we've been playing together. But
I tune it out too. That's my problem.
but like I think content like this should be in the game, like where we have to just be talking to each other. And I know we talk about doing keys together, and you should be talking and communicating, but we're not good at that either. So
normally I'm talking about like completely arbitrary things that I'm
This would be a good point to transition to a little bit of I was going to talk about the M plus state of business right now, but it's a good transition to talk about Fellowship because first and foremost, I should probably preface this because Ioski and I have a little bit of a beef we have to settle.
I didn't know that.
I bought Fellowship. I was like, you know what? I want to support this game because I like the idea that they're going for. I was worried I wasn't going to like it. I ended up refunding it for 2 reasons. One, my fears were confirmed. I wasn't really enjoying it as much as I would M+, right?
Did you even get to play it?
2,
you played it.
I did play it, but there was 2 things happening, right? So out of the 2 hours before I decided to return it, because I think at 2 hours you're not allowed to return it or whatever. So I had 2 hours total played, and I tried to play as a tank for 1 dungeon, and we got to the very last boss. And again, this was like quick play. This was like entry level shit, right? And we were on the last boss. There is no dungeon journal that I know of, and there were mechanics happening that were killing us. And my initial thought was, like, this healer's trying to probably DPS and not heal, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think you have that ability in Fellowship. So I'm like trying to figure out what's killing us, but before I can, the healer just leaves, right? And there's no way to get people back into the queue. And so with all the wipes and all that stuff, we were in there for like 20 minutes. I was like frustrated, just like I am in M+, where it's like, dude, we were just like there, like, just give it 1 more minute and we'll be done. Okay. But again, that happens in WoW too, so it's like not necessarily the game's problem. Although there was no way to add someone back into the dungeon so we could finish it, nor was there something that was able for me to slow down and read what was like causing this thing. But again, that's not necessarily a huge deal because with time we solve like the idea of what the mechanics are. So then I get on another day and I'm like, all right, cool. This is great. This is supposed to be like a 10-minute dungeon system. So like, cool, I can knock this out real quick. And I tried queuing, and I don't know if you guys are like me, but like whenever you queue for LFG and or Mythic Plus, like I have a second monitor, so I'll kind of be like working on something or like reading something or watching something
while I like to run in circles in Dornigal.
Well, so at first I was just watching the celebrity traders in the UK, right? Love the Traders show. And I was watching it, and I just kept looking back and I'm like, why isn't the queue pop? It said it was like under a minute queue. and it just like was never popping. I was like, what the hell? So then I did, like you said, Scrap, I ran around. I was like, all right, I'm going to watch the queue. And it has a little window that would pop up and like have a timer. And it would just close. The window would just close. And it gave me nothing as to why. I thought maybe it just like minimized. But no, it just like would close. And half of the time I couldn't re-queue myself. And the other half I could. So I was like, I don't understand.
That's gotta be a bug though, not
yeah, of course,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
But the fact that I like couldn't even get in to play the game, whereas with WoW, you know, I could do other things. If I'm not going to, like I would run around Dornegal, but I like have the ability to go and do a daily if I'm waiting or whatever. But like I'd spent like 2 hours trying to get into a dungeon. I got into one. It was like their first tier level 3, right? Like, it works differently there. It's like I think every
+3.
Well, no, but it's not like that because they have like 4 different tiers of difficulty. Like there's an endless difficulty, which is the last difficulty, where it's just like an infinite scaling one, just like M pluses. And then there's like, I'm just gonna say challengers and adept and, you know, champions and whatever. I don't know exactly how that works because again, I didn't get the chance to really fully explore it. But it wasn't supposed to be hard content. But again, I was now playing as DPS. The tank was pulling like a fucking madman and the healer couldn't keep up. Right. And so again, the dungeon fell apart and I was like, I didn't even complete it. And after a while, I just realized like, well, if I'm going to face the problems that I face in WoW, I'm just going to go ahead and go back to play WoW. And I just refunded
Yeah, just play WoW. If
right?
it's not fixing the main issue you have with WoW, yeah.
Well, and so me and Rigo, as I think I preluded earlier, had a long conversation in Discord because he was upset with me. He's like, well, you're holding them accountable to things that you don't hold WoW accountable to. And, you know, there is obviously some truth to what he's saying. I fully understand that there is times, and you guys even experienced on Tuesday with the long maintenance and people not being able to log in, right? There are bugs still in WoW.
I did a key when I got home from work, and it was like we couldn't start the key because we kept getting kicked out every time someone would walk in. Like they would make it in, but it would kick someone else out of the game. It was like really silly.
Whack-a-mole, right?
Yeah, it was. It was hilarious.
And you know, Fellowship is in early access, so like I have to be giving some grace there as well. But at the time, again, I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe I'll wait till it comes out 1.0 or whatever, but like, it's just not for me right now. I'm not enjoying myself. I listened to the Potty C where Max was explaining his thoughts on it. And I've seen some other things, you know, even watching some other people stream it, where it's become clear that Fellowship is a harder game than M+. It is definitely not pug friendly, which is a huge problem for a game that has a solo queue. All I could think about was if this is what solo queue is going to look like for M+, no thank you. I want nothing to do with it, right?
I feel like deeply against solo queue, and we talked about it before.
Obviously, I'll like finish your story, but I do want to say, you know, when we tried it, like I did not feel like that was going to be the case at all. It seemed like it was going to be a lot easier. So it's crazy to hear that the higher you get, it gets that difficult.
Well, so the way it works is every time you take a 3-level jump, again, allegedly, I don't know, I'm going off what Max said, the boss gets a new mechanic, right? And so it just like keeps getting significantly more difficult. And there's a lot more personal responsibility, it sounds like, for mechanics. You know, people have been raving about the idea that like the kick UI, the interrupt UI is really good. Cool. Blizzard, please take that. Like I'm all for it. But it does sound like the kicks are very important. The stuns are very important. And again, it's like a 10-minute timer. So in order to get %, you have to make these insanely big pulls, which for the people who are doing plus 20 keys in WoW right now is probably great. That's the kind of like gameplay they want. I kind of like that gameplay, but at the same time, I don't want to be doing it in a pug, right?
Yeah, it seems like Rigo was talking about that a lot of these problems would be alleviated if you were in a 5-stack of people you know all in Discord and stuff.
4-stack.
But like
they do 4.
Oh, sorry, I don't know, whatever, 4-stack. But like if all your friends and stuff, but it's like it's hard to do that even in WoW. Obviously, if we were only doing keys with each other, I would have no problem with Mythic Plus at all. Like I feel like
there are better systems in WoW to become part of a community, right? Now, granted, Fellowship can get there one day. I'm not saying they can't, but.
And it's one thing, you know, if it's a situation where it's WoW and you're making your own group, or like, you know, you have a guild where you can ask people if they want to join. It's a complete another thing when you're literally queuing into it. Like
I'm doing it at the
like
basic level too.
yeah, like the
Mhm.
game itself like should be more mindful that you're gonna potentially be playing with people you're not communicating with.
Yeah. I don't know. It's sad, right? Because it's clear to me that everyone that's out there playing it right now is having a great time. But I can't even get past all the other stuff I just talked about. The actual gameplay loop itself, so far, again, I don't have all the talents and all that stuff. It just didn't feel as fun as I feel like WoW's does, right?
I'll tell you what. 100 comments on this video. Let's make Frank suffer. We'll play Fellowship for like a week or something.
I'll say we.
I'll
I'm not
buy it.
playing
I'll
that.
buy
I'll
it for
tell you what,
everybody.
I ain't
if you
playing
guys
it.
if you guys want to do it, right? If you guys say like,
No, I
let's
don't
give it
want
They do. Trust me.
I just want someone to play Fellowship with.
I'm not playing. It's garbage.
Not playing it.
I just
It's a
don't.
garbage game.
Again, everything that I want is in M+.
Yeah.
And
I said it before, and I think it's pertinent, is that they're trying to hit WoW where WoW is strong. It's like M+ is pretty damn good in WoW, and there's not really anything that like rivals it, I guess, which is probably what they were like, oh, we can do it better. But it's gonna be hard to do it better because they already do it so damn good.
You know,
like,
right now there's like, especially in WoW, like when I was doing the turbo boost stuff, I was trying to, you know, I like we did keys, but like at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to really be like, it's halfway through the season. I'm kind of, you know, getting to be retired, just like Scrap is, and
Yep.
you know, it is cool to have some, you know, another option to be like,
Yeah.
I like the gameplay loop, but you know, I don't want to keep doing the same 8 dungeons, so now here's some new ones. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like if you're someone who just really likes that gameplay and you want something new, you could definitely gravitate towards it. But like, yeah, if you like other things in WoW, it just has that one thing. So, you know, you might not like it if you don't like Mythic Plus.
well,
I guess if the only game you like is Mythic Plus, that's cool. But like when I retire from WoW, I go play like Planet Zoo. You know,
well,
like I don't need more Mythic Plus.
The thing is, I mean, no one, I can't think of single, like, you know, Tettles even, has said that this is going to be a replacement for WoW. Everyone agrees this is not replacing WoW. Even
yeah, and they
replacing
kind of
M+.
needed, I feel like they needed to have that to survive. Like,
well, their argument is like this is like a ARPG seasonal type thing. It's like so Diablo 4 was the example Max gave because he loves Diablo 4. He's like, when it comes out for like maybe a weekend, maybe a week, I'm just gonna full grind and have, you know, 8 hours a day of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. But once I get my legendaries that I want, and like even though I've now achieved the maximum kind of thing I wanted, I immediately stop playing after there. I don't like enjoy the fruits of that labor. And this is going to be the same way. What it might be though is whereas Diablo 4 is kind of like more of a couch co-op kind of thing. PoE
solo,
as an example.
right?
Well, yeah, you can solo, but PoE is more of like the hardcore version of Diablo. Well, this might be the more hardcore but still seasonal version of M+, because their argument is that it is definitely harder than M+ at the higher levels.
Yeah.
That may be just because people are still figuring it out, which I think is mostly true.
Yeah.
But they did like maybe it's just like a hey, when the season's ending for WoW, like there's that lull, you go play that for a week and you're really happy, and then once you get all your gear, you're done.
I guess so, but like the problem is that like, I mean, we can see it now in WoW. We're at the point in the season. Well, we just got a huge refresher. Like people are in play. I've done more keys this week than I've done, I think, in any week this season because of the gilded uncap. But I feel like in about 3 weeks, it's gonna go right back to where it was last week, where there's like nobody playing because most people have hit their seasonal goals like by before the turbo boost. You know, and I think in about a month, people are going to hit their seasonal goals again, and the Mythic Plus scene is going to be dead. The Pug scene is going to be dead. If this game is just Pug scene, just queuing, like, and then you're starting to wait into like 10, 15, 20-minute queues, the game is super dead. And then you get in, and then somebody leaves immediately. It's like, I'm not going to, I don't want to play this game, you know?
Yeah.
It sounds terrible.
So they have to have like, you know, content coming out every 6 months, like at least as much as WoW does. But do they have the infrastructure to do that? Do they have the design? Like
they're a very small team.
Yeah, they're a small team, so they're coming out with these really polished dungeons, I understand. But are they going to have 8 completely new polished dungeons in 6 months? Like,
No.
because people get sick of the dungeons after 6 months.
I mean, maybe they will, but
Wow.
I'm still not going to play it. I don't like it. I don't think it's good.
I'm not going to play it either.
Even if
but
we
I'm
get
just saying
100
they've
comments?
got problems.
I don't care how many comments we get. I'm not gonna play it. But you guys are.
I was about making like 10 YouTube accounts right now to
Yeah.
comment and ready to play it.
all his burner accounts, but
Yeah.
Well, here's the
I
current season, right? So you brought up
For-
the drop off. So
Yeah.
we had
Mythic
I
Plus?
think by week 4 we were talking about this on the podcast. We had more people playing in this week than we did at any point in the War Within or Dragonflight, right?
Yeah, and week 4.
And that
Well,
held
those are,
steady.
I'm not saying it drops like every week, because obviously like once you start to get to the tier where you're pushing, you want to hit harder. You know, you're starting to max out gear and stuff. Like, what's this
what
week?
week,
10, 800?
Well,
what
ignore,
week-
ignore
well, what
this.
week
Ignore
did-
this. 'Cause this
What
is
week
like-
did Remix
No,
come
I'm
out?
looking at week 10 because I think week 11 is going to be at least 2 milli again, because there's tons of people grinding out 12s. I see 2,800
No.
people grinding out 12s and
No,
shit.
I'd say
No.
1.5 is probably what I expect.
1.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think, well, when Remix came out, there was probably a drop, right?
So Remix
and
came
then-
out here.
Yeah, there was a drop, but
Yeah, I know for sure. I was like not, even though they what was the turbo boost? Oh, they gave us more tiers to level our gear up to, but
Yeah.
the gilded was still capped, so I wasn't like grinding. I did my
Yeah.
vault and I was GG. Like I haven't gotten any points on either character until this
once
week.
you get 3K, you get AOTC, you get cutting edge
Yeah.
if you're into that type of thing. I'm not, but you get all those things done. What are you playing for? Like I play to hang out with y'all, but
Yeah.
even that is not because of the wheel. That's not happening a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, Frank
I
was
mean,
talking that we could do 12s on our wheels together earlier, that we might want to introduce that.
Way to
he's
throw me under the bus there.
he's just
like,
breaking the rules.
And I
Can
and
I enter the wheel and get in on some of these 12s?
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it would be everybody could.
I'm just gonna tank the 12s and
yeah.
not do my wheel character. But yeah, I just once you get to a certain point, the drop off is real because there isn't anything to do. Like you've accomplished
the
all your
luster's
goals,
gone.
like you
There's
said.
stuff to do, but the luster's gone.
But here's
yeah.
what WoW has that Fellowship doesn't have. In a month, they're having housing, so they have like a whole new fucking thing.
Well,
like, and it's
they're
like, and like right now they have remix, like, or so, even
they're
though the
rolling
Mythic
out
Plus is
content.
dropped, it's those people didn't unsub. They're playing WoW different. But if Fellowship is just this and it's only on these numbers, then I feel like that's a game that's gonna be like New World. It's gonna come and
not
go.
New World.
Like,
Don't talk about New World.
But scrap.
But-
we pay it's 20 right now. Fellowship's on sale for $22. We pay how much a year in WoW?
I don't want to think
I
about
don't
it.
know.
It depends too how frequently they introduce seasons, because if they do like a season like every month or two, I mean that could be something to keep people coming
Absolutely.
in.
Well,
Yeah,
if I
but
were
can
them,
they
I would
afford-
time their seasons to be always at the midpoint of a WoW season.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
if
that's
it's
a good idea.
only $22, how are they going to afford that unless it's like $5 for the new season? Like,
Microtransactions, baby.
yeah, there's going to have to be some other revenue stream.
It's not
I
a
think
good.
they already have them. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
they do.
sure.
They don't have a good revenue model, in my opinion.
Revenue
but you know,
model, yeah.
We'll see what happens. Like, I would love for the game to be good because I think there needs to be some good competition because it'll make World of Warcraft better. And I'm not simping for World of Warcraft. I just enjoy the game. I think the game is fun. I think it's great. But you know, competition will breed some innovation, I hope. So we'll see what happens.
What are we looking at, Frank?
I just want to check real quick.
Frank's just clicking on.
It looked
graphs.
like no
He
keys were
loves
failing.
graphs.
I mean,
Checking his
look
Facebook.
at
Dude,
this.
that's me. No, like I said, I would look in the queue and I'd see people 3,800 in like doing 12s. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Girl.
I mean, you do 12s. What more do you need to do? If you're farming crests, all you're doing is 12s.
Yeah, no, I've been doing some 12s
anything
like
more?
absurdly fast with some of these sweaty motherfuckers.
Did an Arcane with some guildies, and we used lust on the first pull, so we had lust for the second boss, and we killed it in like a minute and 30 seconds. I'm like, holy crap, that boss just got exploded.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun to do stuff like that.
It's wild, man. Like I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I'm
Do
gonna
you
gear
guys-
my guardian druid.
Do you guys want to talk real quick about the alpha? and then we'll get
What
into the
about it?
range. We'll get
You don't
the
have
range.
any. If I had one,
They don't have. I don't
This
have
is where my
access
up would
to it.
be.
yeah. What do we have to
Yeah.
talk about? We've not
So
experienced it.
let's quickly jump into some things. So there is a new crest cap system coming. So it's now been updated to 100 crests per a week instead of 90. However, more importantly, is the costs of the data crest or the crests item upgrades.
They just make everything cost more.
So it looks like you'll get, for example, myths 1 out of 6. It'll be 10 to upgrade to the next, 20 to upgrade to the next, 30 to upgrade to the next, right? Now we don't know how many we'll be getting from what content. Like maybe they overhaul that. So we shouldn't necessarily, we have only some of the information, but it would slow down our gear progression pretty substantially.
Yeah.
Especially again, moving from 90 to 100 a week is still not that, it's like, this is like a minor difference. Let's quickly add this up. What is that? 120, 150 total to upgrade, which right now it's what, 15 times 5. So 70,
more than that because it's 8 tiers of myth.
So this is actually doubling because it's 75 versus 150.
I mean, I like the idea.
It's a trick.
I like the idea of it costs more as you go down the line because then it encourages you to get all your gear kind of even, as opposed to right now. I don't really know what the best course. I kind of just blast one piece up at a time. I don't even know if that's like the best thing to do.
It'll be better to do that now, especially because if you pay like 50 of a rune, I think it makes the 10 tier of your next thing free. So basically you're gonna be able to save more gilded crest than before because you're not gonna have to waste like 2 things you're basically not going to be sitting at 704 on a lot of items like people were this season. You can actually like upgrade without shame if you have the ability to.
Without shame.
Yeah.
like
upgrade
that.
without shame.
Yeah, so
you'll be ashamed.
You'll be able to effectively pay for your first first myth upgrade with hero tracked crests.
Okay.
And the crests are staying within their lane. So as you pointed out, Io, like for example, I remember early in the season I had champion gear that was like 4 out of 6, and I had to use runed crest to upgrade it, which is the hero tracked in this season. But I wasn't going to because I was like, I'll just wait till I get a hero 4 out of 6 from Mythic Plus, and that will save me my rune crest for when I need to upgrade them further. And then my gloves would never drop or whatever. So yeah, like that will no longer be an issue either. But
so this strikes me as kind of just like tuning and balancing, not like a huge shift, right? Like
I think they were low-key a little salty about getting rid of Valor Stones. They're like, we'll show them. We'll make it just a little bit harder.
we
Valor
do have
Stones
some.
are so toxic.
We do have some more tier sets that came out on today's alpha build. It seems like the tier sets, as they do usually in the first tier of this expansion, are kind of boring. So blood for you Lithian, blood boil deals more damage and generates runic power. So that's nice.
That's nice.
Death Strike deals 8% increased damage and has 20% chance to grant a charge of Blood Boil. Not bad.
Oh.
Hunter, we got the survival one in there. Scrap. Wildfire
yeah,
bomb
I
damage
just glossed over it. That's gonna have absolutely no impact on
everyone
rotation.
at home, don't worry about it. Let's not worry about it. Scrap.
I'm looking
she
at
just glossed over it. It's fine.
My opinion on it is that it's not gonna have any impact on your rotation. It's it's
so your opinion is you have no opinion.
Better. Yeah. My opinion is that this doesn't incur opinion.
Your opinion is that you don't care.
They've done this. They've done this exact, basically survival. I think, in fact, the 4 set right now is basically this. It's like, oh, your wildfire bomb is better. So this is that again.
Well,
I was bummed out they didn't do the hero talents again for a different tier set for each.
Dude, they have enough on their plate.
Yeah, you're right.
It does. Just, I'll let this one go. But I hope that season 2's
I won't let it go.
Is more interactive with the tree.
They will be. The first tier, they usually do something like slow. Yeah.
Well, you have Apex. You have
excuse
Apex talents. You have tier set, and are they doing some weird player power nonsense with anything else? I hope not. But
no, I think
like
just the Apex talents.
No, I think that's going to be more seasonal thing as opposed to an expansion thing.
Wait, I thought they were bringing back part
but
of
are they going
Azeroth.
to do anything in the first season, like give you a weapon or a cloak or something?
No.
No bar par.
No bar par.
No bar par.
So we have the tier sets, which again, pretty vanilla. Scrap, we were starting to read this, and then I cut you off because Lithian was right.
I went,
shouldn't have
oh
told you.
my god.
So for those of you survival hunters that watch, Scrap has been really critical about how the developers are fucking donkeys.
We have a frequent commenter who's a survival hunter because I've talked with her in the chat before. So hi you.
Hi you.
Yeah.
So here's the developer note, because Scrap apparently they watched the podcast. The following changes are targeted at adding another layer of depth to Survival's gameplay, in reintroducing Tip of the Spear. So would you like to react?
Gasped.
Yeah, you gasped.
I went, oh no.
Alongside this, go on.
Oh, you said you didn't want to react, and you're not giving me time to react.
Well,
let me make it, because I already did react to this, so I have to try to make it look really authentic. I'm like, oh my god. I'm just a little bit whiplashed. I can't say this is a good. I feel like it's a good change because, for people who don't know about Survival Hunter, I mean, I likened it to like Breathless and Jagrosa. I'm sure other classes of other things, but it's like our whole thing right now, and they've minimized it a ton because I think it wasn't working the way they wanted. They undertuned it more, so it's less important. But when they launched it, they were like, this is your mechanic, this is what you have to juggle, this is your builder spender type thing, because we didn't really have builder spender interaction that much in survival. Here's your new thing, great rework here for you, Tip of the Spear, new thing. Then at the end of War Within, they were like, no more Tip of the Spear. Instead, we give you nothing. And I feel like I watched a video and I've been following Discord and stuff. A lot of people were like, wait, you're going to give us nothing? You're just going to take away like more than half our buttons and also our mechanic? Like, what is it then? And they're like, oh wait, it's nothing. Let's put that back.
If you play survival, you know what you're getting into.
That's a callback to when I was complaining about survival tuning.
I'm going to be
somebody in Discord told me that.
The last 60 seconds, I just blanked out because I feel like I've had a repeat of it. I know. Look, the viewers appreciate it. I'm just letting you know I'm going numb.
But is it not? Well, I'm going numb too. The reason I'm going numb is because they keep changing their mind about, are we reworking it? Are we not? We're doing a new rework.
You and the 5 other survival hunters will care. The rest of us don't.
Well,
is this a rework?
It is. It's a change. It's a rework of the proposed rework. So and the funny thing is,
it's a remix of a rework.
They proposed a rework, get rid of Tip of the Spear, that's no longer your thing. And then they realized it was nothing, and so they're reworking the rework to be more like the last rework, in effect meaning less of a rework.
Is there anything for the classes that I play, like
Unholy,
Blood Death Knight? Nothing. Is there anything for Guardian Druid? I've been tracking Guardian Druid a little bit.
No, just
that's not a Guardian.
Just the hero talent.
I love how
nobody cares about Druid of the Claw.
Back on his blood arc, and then all of a sudden he's just like, I'm really into bear.
I'm tracking it. I'm tracking it
for less time than me and Frank have, but this is the first time I was doing keys with Lithian. I was like hanging out with him one-on-one, like from the raid. He was like, oh, I'm like working this character. I was like, I'll help you gear that character, and we did like a ton of 10s. It was in Shadowlands or whatever, or 15s, I can't remember. And like I totally spent like the whole week helping him gear his character, and then literally a week later he's like, no, I'm doing a different one. And I was like so annoyed because I was like,
no, I don't do that anymore.
I just wasted my whole week like gearing your character.
And I've helped you gear, but
I know, but that was like the first time I was hanging out with you, and
it's very likely that I'll go into midnight with Blood DK, but I love Guardian Druid, I love Feral Druid, and I want them to be good again.
Frank, so I know you don't have this. If you could pull this up, the Haranir Druid form dance animations were released. I don't even know how to look at it. I saw it on TikTok. And the dance animation for like I think it's the dog form is so or the cat form is so fucking cute. And I think that you should.
That's the other thing. I might want to play. I might want to play this because of this. This might be. Here's the thing.
Can you zoom in on it, Frank? God.
I can't.
Zoom in, Frank.
Yeah, zoom. Look at it.
Like this is here's the reason why I quit playing Druid for everybody. I quit playing Druid because every form I had, Scrap would turn into a pet, a hunter pet.
This one 100% is tameable. So I have like 5 Lithium.
I had to quit. Oh my
The
gosh.
Harrier, I don't know what their racials are, but like Loki, they're definitely the best druid class now.
The
Just with
racials,
They're so
the
cute.
racials aren't that
customization
good.
and all the good and all the cool forms and the
I
hot
don't know. I'm
boomy.
a big Zandalari person. Like dinosaur forms, you can't really beat. But that little dancing otter cat thing is so fucking cute. I want to die. I would
I
never
might.
be able to get anything done.
It's been 5 minutes and I've gotten through one sentence of the survival rework.
I'm done. We're done. I thought we were done talking about survival.
No, so
I gave
along
my whole
the
opinion.
there,
We're gonna get me
introducing-
back to it. I'm gonna rant more.
Well,
Like,
I
let's
want to
get
make sure we
back to
put
it.
a bow on it. All right, let's just get some squeeze out of this juice. We'll be including initially tip of the spear centric talents. Additionally, we're reworking a portion of Sentinel's talents to key into tip of the spear. We're making boomstick easier to access. A lot of people have been criticizing this on Twitter, as I've seen.
I don't
And
even know what
granting more
boomstick is.
cooldown reduction via quick reload.
What?
It's the shotgun
Oh, it's
thing.
Fury of the Eagle.
Well, it's your shotgun, whatever that is. So the players will be more reliable.
Yeah, what
have
does it
access
do?
to it in the area damage.
You
The
play
Boomstick
survival.
is the new thing.
That's
It's the new
new.
thing.
I don't know what the fuck that is. Boomstick what they're rebranding Fury of the
You
Eagle
don't.
to. I'm pretty
You
sure
don't
that's
track.
what it is.
You don't
should know
track what's
that.
going on.
I don't
Okay.
know that for you.
I don't know
Yeah,
that for me. I'm pretty sure that they just rebranding Fury of the Eagle to be Boomstick.
Your
but I don't know.
your job is to know about Survival Hunter.
I like. I'm
All right,
breezing
moving on.
through this. I like
But
the idea
if-
of that things interact with each other. It seems
Oh, you're
like
gonna talk
which has
about
been-
fire. I'm gonna snooze.
Let me
If
just
Blizzard,
put a bow on it. Let me put a damn bow on it. Like
Put a
my
bow.
biggest gripe with survival recently in the past like 2 expansions is that there's been not a lot of interactivity between cooldowns, abilities. It's kind of just like press stuff when it's up. You don't really manage much. And just looking through that, it looked like they're trying to make abilities kind of work with each other, which is a very basic fucking element of class and rotation
Oh
design.
my
I think
gosh!
that
You had to
they've
drop the
always
F-bomb.
failed all the time. Yeah. But like, so at least that's looking good to me. Done.
If Blizzard goes back on letting weak ores in the game, will you, if you use boomstick, have a click click boom weak ore every time it's ready?
Well, I don't have one now, so I don't like noisy weak ores.
You don't
No
have
weak ores.
boomstick
No
now.
weak ores.
Well, good then.
Arcane seems to be getting some nerfing, which is probably fine. Fire, which was
Whatever.
very boring, did get some changes, but I can't really tell if they've like added, because the problem with fire, which we'll talk about in a second, is that it's like 3 spells and that's it. I don't see that being changed here, but again, that's a really quick glance at it. Holy Paladin seems to have a lot of going on here.
Yeah, a lot
They're
of
trying to
shit
make Holy like feel like a really powerful spender when you use it.
Is this new from last week or?
No, this came out today.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
it's
So
new.
I didn't see the new stuff. I know last week they basically got rid of Crusader Strike and now they're trying to make it so like you kind of use Holy Shock in its place. So I'll have to read these ones. I didn't get a chance
But,
to
like,
catch them
Holy
yet.
Light healing increased by 50%, right? Like,
Yeah, wow.
yeah. So, anyways, I mean, based on what the developer note said, it just quickly said that they want Holy Power to feel powerful.
It's
Yeah.
alpha.
Resto Shamans seem to be getting a little bit back because again, they were pruned to hell. I don't remember what Unleash Life does, but that's coming back for them. And they're trying to make their single target or single healing spells, I guess, because some of them are AoE, heal a little bit more. And then Warriors, they're what was it called? Challenger or Champion Spear. So now when you throw your spear, you have the ability to also like jump on it and damage everyone, which sounds like a really
Awesome.
cool thematic
Dude,
thing.
I always wanted them. They had in Torghast a power that when you heroic leaped on somebody, it created like a huge earthquake area effect that damaged everything under it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why isn't that in the game? It's so fun. I think it's because they don't want like a movement cooldown to be part of your rotation. But why not?
Scrap.
Why
Scrap.
not?
Are you gonna transition to Fury Warrior next
Honestly,
expansion?
I've been kind of missing my Fury Warrior, seeing you guys play it and stuff. And that
bring
was
back.
yeah.
Here's the deal. If you bring back
What?
Scrap Claw, I'll bring
Uh-huh.
back Lithian.
Dude, the dynamic duo.
I'll bring
Okay.
back Lithian.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
So-
but yeah, so I think so, but I don't know. I have to play it.
They're trying to tune with the iconic shouts. So intimidating shout, they're making it so that other than your primary target, they're not feared in place. They flee still, but they're now moving 70% slower, so that in M plus it's not a nuisance to use it.
Can't they just be afraid in place? Why do they have to move?
I don't know.
Why
Thematically,
do
that
they
makes
have to
sense.
move?
Thematically, it makes sense.
Stay
Like,
in one
they won't move
spot.
far. They won't
Use
move
the Mythic
far.
Plus. They won't move far.
Um,
Picture, like the Murlocs and Gambit, they're just fucking gone. Like
That
That-
reminds me. Somebody commented last week a big thing on Arms Warrior. We should get some of those for when we read for like near the end of the
Yes.
tier list, so we could
yes.
yeah, at the end of the tier list, we should do revised thoughts.
Can you find it for me, and I'll pull it up.
Wait, are we doing it now?
Well, no, we'll do
Because I
it.
think we
But
should wait
find it
till
for me
the
now,
end.
so I have it when we later. Okay. One big thing that I saw in the user interface thing, right? So they're like, you know, making so you can listen to the sound effects before you build
Yeah, I'm
your
excited.
thing. They're adding some more text-to-speech API access. I don't know
Nice.
what really tables and mix-ins, but they're adding more access to the secret values in there.
don't
Some
know what
quality
that
of
is.
life changes to spell cooldown, faction, and aura APIs. So again, maybe we have a little more access to those. But this one's huge. Added a way for add-ons to colorize unit frame health bars in combat based on the health of the unit. So
That's still kind of kicking it to the add-on makers. Why don't they just make that part of their, part of their bars?
Well, no, because for them they might say like it's not required to know when you're in execute range, right? But I will also see this as being a door opening for Plater, allowing you to change the color of, casters versus generals versus whatever.
But the problem was
What if
Plater
does? Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Well, the problem with Plater is if it can't do all the combat stuff, like I use it for the colors, right? I like the colors, but I also like the other stuff that it brings when you're in combat. And I feel like,
well, that's not coming.
Yeah, I feel like that's not going to be there. I feel like Plater's still not.
Dude, I feel like this is a huge L. Like they're saying, okay, we recognize that you need to be able to do this to potentially play the game, so we're gonna let add-ons pick into it, but we're not gonna fix that you need this to play the game. I thought that was their whole design philosophy. Is that we don't want you to need add-ons.
You don't need the colors.
Well, I feel like
what I would like,
if it's quality of life, they should add it.
No, but the colors. The colors are mostly for me to understand where the casters are versus the non-casters. If they change the nameplate so I can actually read the name, I would know which one of the casters and which ones are not.
Well, that's true. But look at it this way, Scrap.
I feel like they're highlighting a weakness. They're like, we know this is a weakness.
Well, no, but if this is something where they say, okay, so execute range is different for different classes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Furies is what?
In QE, I don't know, 35%?
30%. We'll say 30%.
30, whatever. 30%.
Whatever.
Paladins is 20%. Mages is 35, or Arcane Mages is 35%, right? So like, they're probably thinking to themselves, well, that UI is going to get messy for us. And the truth is, only a select few people are going to care about it. So
why do we care? Because it's a thing they put in the game.
No,
that
but
we need to play around.
Scrap.
Okay. They're not just saying like, why do these people care about that they can only use this ability?
Care, right?
Yeah.
But your ability will still light up when you enter execute range.
Yeah, but what I need to know is are other mobs in execute range that I'm not targeting.
Well, that's
because then I shall switch to them. That's the whole reason why I have that.
But that's not something that the game needs to tell you, right?
I think they're kind of acknowledging that the game is improved by telling you that by opening up the API.
Hold on. So are you suggesting that if the game has any need for I'm not even going to say need. If it has any reason for an add-on and they don't absorb it, that they're failing?
I'm saying that if they acknowledge, like, hey, we're opening it up because we see a lot of people want this, then they should just implement it themselves. Sure. Because they're opening it up to do like what weak auras did and say, oh, no more weak auras. Like, what if Plater throws their hands up in the air and say, nope, we're not going to do it? Then they've acknowledged that there's a gap in their customization and now there's nobody to fill it. They're saying, hey, add-ons, you can fill this gap we have now. Please do it because people want it.
Please.
Do you expect them to do every single add-on that exists out in the world right now that people would
I think if they want to get rid of add-ons, that's what a lot of people are expecting. I'm not expecting it, but people will be upset if you take something away from them and don't give them an adequate replacement.
Folks,
then
this is why writing add-ons is, or honestly working for any development company of a game is terrible. You just have people you can't win.
No, I think the majority of the player base is people you can't win against. I mean, you see people bitch about everything in this game. You know, it's like
Like
it's like a
Scrap
bitch.
Claw.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you.
Yeah, I believe it or not, I play the bitch about it game. Like I'm here on a bitch about it podcast. Like what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Like,
But look, Bigwigs is still working. They're still, you know, giving you some bars here and all that stuff. I don't know it like again with the changes of what can be added here. But it's nice to see that Bigwigs as an example, or I don't think this was Plater. I think it was what, Platinator. I don't know what the difference between that and Plater are, but you know, they still have the desire to build things for players in the game. This boss fight looks fun. I'm just like, I'm happy to see that there's some things being relinquished. And again, this isn't in this. Where did I just have it? Here we go. This right here, what I want is the ability to change the color based on the name of the enemy. But I feel like we're like one opening of a door away and we're going to get it.
I would love to be able to change the color based on if I have my dots spread to it or not. You know, something like that would be nice.
That might be doable.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it, so I've never bothered. Instead, I have a weak aura that tells me how many mobs my dot is spread on.
Because you can track dot icons on at least the default UI one, so you can probably set it up in the add-on to make it
here's a practical issue I have, like, which I understand enhancement is changing, but like
to be fair, Scrap, I wasn't explaining to tell you how to do it. I was just saying out loud for discussion that you could probably do it.
let me add on to it.
I know how you are.
The thing is I have a weak aura that sidesteps the need for that, but like basically like when I put flame shock out and stuff, like, you know, I want to know that I have maximum flame shocks out before I hit like my P wave and shit. So my maximum is 6. Now, if I'm just looking at the dots, I'm not like counting, okay, 1, 2, 3, because they're all moving around and I need to kick stuff and I need to be going through my rotation really, really fast because it's heroism and my buttons are lighting up quickly, right? So I have a weak aura that says you have the dot on 6 guys. Cool. You have the dot on 2 guys. You have the dot on no guys. Like I want something like that. Obviously, with weak auras going away, I don't know what the fix for that is, for me to be able to glance and see like that's roughly 5 bars. Yeah, that's something that's really helpful to min-max my class.
If weak auras were still developing, that might actually be something you could get, because you know when you have dots on stuff, so that's like information you have access to.
Yeah, well, hopefully there's something like that, or maybe they make it like, I mean, why it's so critical is because my hardest hitting ability only affects people who have the dot on them, and as I understand, they're making it so you don't have to like lava lash, so just you hit the button, it goes on as many people as possible or whatever. So you can probably just assume that it'll be on everybody in the new one, barring catastrophic circumstances, I guess. But like, if the design is your hardest hitting move only hits people who have the dot on it, so you must have the dot out on a maximum amount of people, and there's not really an easy way to track that with the game. That's where a weak aura kind of is required, and I hope that they're aware of that as they're redesigning my classes. And that's my rant.
Is your rant over now?
All right.
It could be picked back up.
Actually,
if you
hold on, Scrap. Can I ask you something that I don't know if you know?
You may.
Do you know the new Hunter's Mark buff?
Yeah, that it's going to go for the whole health bar, not just top 80.
Yeah, but it's like what percent is it now? I can't remember. It's like 30%.
It's top 80 top 20%. It
No. I'm saying. Sorry. You're right. Okay. What? So right now, top 20% of their health. So from 100 to 80, you get a 5% buff. Is it?
I don't know. I don't know what the buff is.
Yeah, it's 5% because it's 1% overall. It's 1% overall, right?
Okay.
But they're changing now that no matter what, I think it's just like a flat 3%, right? Okay. So that's a pretty big deal.
You're gonna need that on those council fights. That's why we got 3 hunters locked and loaded.
Okay, other things. So they put out a blue post today about, well, it says ranged enemies, but I don't feel this is like whatever. Healers have lost their interrupts, with the exception of Resto Shaman, because they felt thematically that they should keep it. They're going to make it so that we've known about this for a while, but we haven't talked about it on the podcast. So interrupts are going to be more powerful, however, less required and maybe even like less accessible. But because of that, people are now worried, well, what about stuns? Stuns are also getting kind of cold a little bit, but they're also removing some of the diminishing returns about it. Again, I don't remember if we talked about this, but you'll be able to always stun in PvE, even if it's like a fraction of a second. Just to stop
we talked about that.
Yeah. But they're also saying they're going to change some of the enemy behavior where enemies won't necessarily, and they didn't explicitly say this, but I know they've done it before, will make sure that if they have like a shoot or a frostbolt spell, that they're more evenly spreading their targeting so that like one person doesn't get targeted by 3 of them at the same time.
I can't believe it's taken this long for them to fucking implement that. Like
Well-
they were just like we have a fun little mechanic where
Well-
every now and then one person just gets the fucking like kicked out of the fight.
When you have all these stuns and kicks and everything else, it's easy to lock that down. With the rework,
Yeah.
a lot of those things are going away. So they have to do something.
I think
It just does seem kind of silly that it's been in the game forever that just randomly all 3 casts can pick 1 out of 5 people and just delete them
when
off
it
the map.
picks when it picks the mage in our group, it's great. It's entertaining.
I've been talking about it all week. My shaman has 0% versatility. If anything picks me, I'm off the
that
your
was
fault.
that was the gameplay,
Well-
right? They wanted it to do that because they wanted to punish you for making the pull like that.
Yeah.
But the tech has been in the game I'm not gonna say from day one, for a while now, because Arakara, for example, the spiders will not overlap the poison unless you have X amount in the group, right? I think what they're saying though,
intentional or just like a side effect of.
You can't hear me
how the
rolling my
design-
eyes, but Jesus Christ.
Okay, I
Anyways,
don't know. It seemed that was intentional.
But I think what they're saying now is, because in the past what would happen is maybe they had to like go into a specific mob and say, oh, we definitely need to make sure this one doesn't do what we were wanting it to do or whatever, and they'll change it. But what I think they're saying is like systematically now, casters will all have that technology, right?
Yeah.
And so you won't see it because they know we've changed the way the game plays, so therefore we need to change the way that we designed these things to play in the game. So that's happening too. But again, I don't know. From what I could tell, based on the the potty Cs and the benches, they wanted
The people who
healers
have
to lose
access to alpha.
yeah, they wanted to see the people that the healers lose the interrupts too, because they felt like it was unfair that druids lost theirs. And
But what are healers doing if not interrupting? Like,
well, no, that's the
Healing?
argument.
Guessing?
That's the argument. They're
They're
saying
healing?
you already had enough on your plate worrying about the whack-a-mole, right? Well, they're saying we don't want you to have to worry about interrupting, because interrupting was already like, I mean, honestly, I get a little anxious about it when I'm on my mage, because if I'm in the middle of a cast, I like don't interrupt until I'm done casting.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And you don't want to have to like make that decision on top of the decisions you already haven't made, especially if they're changing the way that healing feels, which they say they are. Again, we haven't seen what it looks like at the high end yet. So I think that's the right thing to do. Although, as you pointed out, Scrap, doesn't make Shaman more meta. We'll see. I mean, I don't know.
That they have 1 interrupt every
Well,
30 seconds, I doubt it.
Yeah, it's a 30-second timeout or whatever.
Especially with stuns kind of being buffed a little bit and interrupts being, they said
think it'll be
interrupts being
fine.
less pertinent or important to get. Now I do have the fear of that, like when they bring back old dungeons, they have to like keep this in mind, like that there's excessive kicks that need to be dealt with, and we don't have the kick infrastructure anymore. Maybe.
Well, no, they are going to do that. But
they are. Well, okay, we'll see.
But my point
Yeah.
still
We'll
stands that
see.
I've always made, is that once they stop, like, so let's say that these guys don't do nearly as many casts. All that means is it's going to mean you're pulling 6 packs instead of 3, because that was the limiter of how big your packs were. And if you've taken that limiter away, the sweaties are going to say, okay, cool, now I can go even further. And therefore now you'll have 4 of these in the pack again, and there won't be enough kicks anymore. And then they'll be complaining, well, this is unfair, it's too hard. It's again,
that is a risk that they're taking on by
sure, but they
readjusting
can't
the
win.
way.
There's no way of winning, because people will always say, I'm going to push myself to the limits. And then when they get to the limits, they say this is unfair.
I feel like this was a part of the game that didn't need adjusting. Like I like how dungeons were designed, with the exception of Priory, where there was like an obvious like this is the kick, and it's like there's plenty of time to do a kick rotation for most things in the War Within dungeons.
But not in Pugs.
Priory's
not in
exception.
Pugs.
But I mean, like a lot of times there's like
Arakara is a perfect example. We cruise in it when we're playing together, right? There's no risk of those poison whatever things going off on the spiders. But when I've done like 4 of them in the past week, and every single one has had that poison shit cause problems, because I, as a caster, have a 25-second whatever lockout, and I make sure, I'm like, I'm not going to hit it, because I'm going to wait for one of the melee to do it, because they have a shorter cooldown. I'll be the backup just in case. And they they like don't do it until the very end, and I
overlap.
do it and we overlap, and now I can't help the next time it comes out. Or
Yeah.
even worse, this is driving me crazy now. They're stunning it like crazy, and so I
Yeah.
think it's interrupted, and it's not. And then like, what's going on, right? So
I
like,
blast
that
all my
needs to
sons at
end.
the beginning because they're on GCD and I don't want it to interrupt my cooldowns.
No, they
like,
don't.
So I
They
just
don't.
like, oh, I can't stun anymore. I guess I have to just do my cooldowns completely uninterrupted. Like I do that all the time.
All right. Well, do you guys want to do the range DPS and we'll call it a night?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Do I
Okay,
have any homework on this one? I don't think
Yeah,
I
you're
do.
supposed to be doing BM Hunter.
I don't think so.
Yeah, right. I
In
think
fairness,
I think
okay,
you're
so
supposed to.
caveat like always. Did you guys get me the arms one? Do you want to do that real quick?
It's
Yeah, Lipton's
it's
got it
in
pulled
the no, it's in the channel.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna.
IO added it to the channel.
All right, here we go. Oh god, this is a long one.
Yeah, there's a
we got a Sub
TLDR.
Rogue one. Okay, so Tamarack in the YouTube comments said Sub Rogue dooming on the same degree people are dooming on Fire Mage. Okay, so we'll talk about Fire Mage in a second. Where's Sub?
Yeah.
Changes feel incomplete. Still stacks multiple cooldowns. Still required to play in a pretty stagnant timeline around specific Shadow Dance to make sure that you're hitting your symbols and secret technique at the right time, and they are able to properly pair all of them together for the 2-minute Gloom Blade. These are all words I don't know Rogue at all. Sorry. It's arguably even worse of how the Apex talents interact with the secret technique, making mistakes significantly more punishing. Hero talents still require weak auras. Well, that's a problem. And we're not adjusted yet. Trickster in its current iteration could be unplayable without a weak aura. Being unable to track phased or flawless form properly, at least with the current iteration on the cooldown manager, will make all the damage amps built into the spec borderline impossible to track. So, dooming. All right.
Dooming.
Jarland23 on the YouTube's comment says, for Arms Warriors, they're getting rid of most of the modifiers to simplify the class. Things like Overpower, Buffing, Mortal Strike is gone. They got rid of Skull Splitter and Test the Might, which is good because not many people liked playing those talents anyways. They got rid of Avatar, which is bad. I was going to say that sounds like it's bad. But they rolled the damage into Colossus Smash. Yeah.
Because it used to be a mainline tree thing.
But I'd still like a big cooldown to hit anyway. It seems like they're redesigning it so the focus is even less on bleeds and more on big baseline hits, which is really good and I like. They're going to give warriors a lot more utility in the class tree, which we even talked about today. The Spear Mass grip, like you went over, 30% speed boosts for the group when piercing Howl and Battlefield Commander. Uncapping Intimidating Shout and making it so everyone cares. Again, we talked about the updates to that today. They redid Sweeping Strikes to make arms the king of 2-target cleave again by making it charged base instead of duration base. Seems like that's going a lot in classes, like giving charges instead of like a cooldown that's hard. Hard to see how it's affecting things without playing it, of course. TLDR, good changes overall. A lot more utility in Warriors, which I think overall everyone's happy about. And Apex talents are great. It's exactly what I wanted. I'll give it a B+. Seems like I'll play it almost exactly the same way as the War Within, except with the addition of Apex talents and the removal of Avatar. And they said, disclaimer, I'm by no means an expert, but I've played ARMS exclusively since BFA, which I think
sounds
makes
like
you an
pretty
expert.
educated about it.
Yeah.
Like
Sounds
more
like,
than I am about my classes.
Boom.
I think
Yeah,
you're an
it sounds
expert.
boom.
Okay. Yeah, so I put it up to boom. Let's talk. Oh God, I've got so many notes here. Let's talk range DPS today, okay? And we will start with balance, with everyone's favorite balance druid, not Tettles, but Zesty. So
Zesty is so much better than Tettles. Like, believe.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
He's the
100%.
chillest dude ever. He's always at raid.
I
He's
hope
always
this doesn't
coming to
get
me
back
there.
to Tettles.
I hope it does. He needs to be afraid of Zesty. If Zesty ever takes up streaming, it's fucking over for Tettles. Like, serious.
Oh God. All right. Zesty says, of balance, I feel pretty optimistic about the balance changes that that have been announced. They're hitting a couple major pain points. One, they're redesigning the Eclipse mechanic and turning it into a 15-second cooldown button. You can spec into having 2 charges, which should provide balance with another gameplay loop. Meanwhile, pulling Astral Power before you pop the cooldown and dumping all of it into that Eclipse window. So from what I understand, like balance used to be that you'd kind of like push the bar over until you eclipsed, and then you'd like go crazy and push it in the other way. It sounds like you get to choose those points now, which is nice. Pain point number 2, they're addressing balance's slow ramp by changing the mastery. This hopefully should allow us to deal damage faster instead of how it is on live, where we have to dot everything before we do damage. Additionally, another change I'm really looking forward to is the change to Star-Lord, which should now prevent us from having to cancel Star-Lord when the buff is less than 2 seconds in an Eclipse window like we do now in live. Balance overall hasn't really lost any abilities. We lost Renewal, but it was replaced with a passive version of Renewal. So our defensive capabilities should pretty much be the same as they are on live, which I'm told they have none. So I guess bear form still. Compared to other classes, we haven't lost any abilities really and gain a new cooldown button for Eclipse. I'm hoping Balance does better in raids, but I guess that will come down to tuning. And Zesty says this as the guy who usually trounces our raids, so it just shows how bad we are.
Every time. Like, no matter how bad it's tuned, it's ridiculous.
I did read Teddle's first impressions on it, and he seemed to be booming on it too, so it's safe to put it there.
Yeah, I don't think you needed Teddles to put it there. I think
Sorry,
Teddles.
Okay, next, so let's say Dev Evoker. Rigo, third mention this week, Rigo, you're becoming a celebrity. Dev has been known as one of the simpler casters in WoW since its release, and it isn't changing with Midnight. The changes for Dev simplify our rotation by eliminating the setup for both hero talent builds. For Flame Shaper, the spec was based around setting up massive engulf bursts, making sure you stacked just the right debuffs on your target to unleash massive bursts of damage. Now the build will revolve around applying your Fire Breath dot to burn enemies, then spending your Essence abilities to consume that dot, exploding it to do additional damage, as well as reduce the cooldown of Fire Breath to repeat the cycle faster and faster. For Scale Commander, our Eternity Surge now automatically casts our Shattering Star for us to start our Disintegrating Chains. Also with the new talent Second Exhale, we can recast our Deep Breaths again within 18 seconds of the initial cast. Now they're going to be flying all over the damn place. Allowing us to extend our bombardment and calling in our squadrons a second time. So even more evokers running around. These bombardments lower the cooldown on Deep Breath and once again creating a positive feedback loop of gameplay in a different way. The complexity for Devastation will come from the place it came from with their initial release, maintaining uptime on Dragon Rage. Back in 10.2.7, Animosity, the talent that allows Devastation Evokers to extend the duration of the Dragon Rage, was capped at 16 seconds maxed, the equivalent of a relatively easy 2-round of empowered cast inside of a Rage. Now that cap seems to be missing from the text of this talent, so hopefully that means the skill expression has been re-implemented. Unfortunately, we don't have any information on our Apex talents yet. Again, that may have changed, so I don't have that right now in front of me. But I'm excited to see what they come up with. My hope is for something that further complements this feedback loop of gameplay. Maybe having Deep Breath, freeze or extend the duration of Dragon Rage or something. Regardless, I'm excited to see what's next for both DPS Evoker specs.
Why don't you give your voice a break and let Io do Frost Mage?
Yeah, well, you want to talk about that, Io?
Sure.
Booming, though? We say booming?
Yeah, Rigo is always booming, even when the game is terrible.
Rigo's always booming.
Rigo's been talking about Og coming back. I mean, to be fair, I've also been saying Og's coming back with absolutely no info or like based on nothing. But that's just to give you an idea. He's a very positive guy.
All right, why don't you go and talk about Frost?
Yep, just give me 1 second. I just want to just double check something real quick.
See if there are any more changes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I don't say something wrong.
That's okay.
Well, I'll go over Fire.
I'm wrong all the time.
Fire has been gutted. All right, Fire Mage now has like 3 buttons, right?
Fire, I feel like, is iconic as like one of the most like esoteric bullshit like rotations. I know it's changed throughout the years and stuff, but to me, I was like Fire Mage is for nerds, like who like to calculate combustion windows, and that they're turning it into like the Fury Warrior of
the BM, of Mage.
Another BM is kind of like insane. And if I was a Fire Mage and my identity was Fire Mage, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck?
I think the reason I liked playing, because I played Fire in BFA just because the corruption with it was insanely fun. And my favorite thing about it was being able to cast, it's not Ignite, what is it called? You know, they had this like, you could cast it while moving and it was your execute. I can't remember.
Scorch.
Scorch, there you go, thank you. That was like the favorite part because like you could always just like go crazy with it in the execute windows. And you could move while casting if you really had to, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I love that. They just destroyed that. That's not there anymore. And I'm like, obviously if it's tuned really well, people will play it, but it just sounds so boring right now. So I'm putting it in Doomin. What do you got, Io?
Okay, so basically, how Frost would work was you would be able to put up to, I think, 2 like freezing stacks, and then you would use like Ice Lance or Glacial Spike if you had the 5 icicles to shatter it. So you would just shatter and then do your big damage there. But now it stacks up to 20 times, and when you shatter it, I believe it breaks all the stacks at once. And they took out Icy Veins, so that was like your big like haste cooldown. I don't know what Arcane has that's similar to it, but it's similar to like Combustion, where that's like your big like damage window. And I think they're kind of trying to do Freezing Ray as the new cooldown, which is something that's in the tree now, but
no one uses it.
No one uses it. So, and it looks like that's going to be a channel that stacks a lot of freeze up. So it looks like you're going to be pretty much using that to stack up a big opportunity to Ice Lance or Glacial Spike a big freeze. So that's interesting. And not only that, you don't have to hit Glacial Spike anymore on its own. It just becomes your Frostbolt, and your Frostbolt changes to it when you have 5 icicles, and then you I think they said it casts faster too now, so you don't have to do the long waiting for it to go above your head and then shoot it out. It's definitely different. I think it was a spec that they probably didn't need to do too much with in terms of pruning, because there wasn't a lot of excess buttons, and it kind of played fine the way it was. This probably gives it more skill expression, I guess, if you like that sort of thing. But it's interesting. It's one of those things I'd have to kind of play with to really see how it is. But it does seem like they made it so you have better opportunities to set up bigger damage windows. So that's pretty cool.
Would you say you're booming or dooming?
It's pretty cool.
Cool. I guess I'd say booming.
Okay. Based on what I've seen online, most people are like, they're happy-ish, right?
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Frost was the Frost Orb Blizzard combo. Like, I just loved doing that.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think they've changed that, right?
That I'm not 100% sure on. That might be the same.
Cool.
You know what's big booming? Big booming is Og.
What?
It's Og.
Good. Let's talk Og, because I was about to transition to that Lithium. Do you want me to read Rigo's first, or do you want to tell us what you think?
Yeah, no, read Rigo's. Okay. Read Rigo's.
This is a big one. All right, Rigo from the Discord said, in short, I'm really excited about both Augmentation and Devastation, but more so Og. Blizz went out of their way to kill Og a few patches back, and it looks to me like this is the patch where they try to bring it back. So first, let's talk about Raid. Raid Og was absolutely horrible to play optimally, which we've heard about the spreadsheets. To do so, you had to play with a spreadsheet that dictated every single one of your buff casts to make sure you were lining up your Ebonite windows with the cooldowns of either the strongest or most important damage dealers at any given moment. The biggest change in Midnight is that Ebonite will now be applied to all DPS within 100 yards instead of just how instead of your 2 precise targets, plus the 2 nearest DPS targets, which is how it was before, and you can see how that'd be annoying. Tagging along with that, Breath of Eons now accumulates all damage from all targets that have Ebonite on them. So in other words, the entire raid. What they've done to balance this is that your buff is now spread across all targets evenly when used on more than 2 targets. So in other words, in raids. Equally, Breath of Eons accumulates less damage in the same situation. In Dungeon, Og will feel similar to Season 1 War Within when it came to rotation. You would try to maintain uptime on Ebonite and prescience on your DPS players throughout the run as much as possible. What's exciting here is the subtext behind the initial tuning numbers released and the synergy with their new Apex talent. They've increased the buff provided by Ebonite from 5% to 8%. Let's be clear, that looks like a small number, but that's 60% increase. True. Not only that, but the last time Ebonite was this strong was the release of Patch 10.2, and it was nerfed shortly after to 6.5%. Similarly, Breath of Eon's damage accumulation has been buffed by 50% to 15 overall damage accumulation. This is the highest amount to damage accumulation Breath has ever seen. It was released at 15% and quickly nerfed down to... Okay, we're getting a lot of numbers. Finally, this leads us to Augmentation's Apex talent, Duplicate. Very simple. When you use Breath of Eons, you summon a duplicate of yourself. The duplicate casts random damage spells, but more importantly, increases the effect of Ebonite by 100%. The duration of that duplicate is extended by 100% of the time. Your Ebonite is extended when you're casting your damage-dealing abilities, which means you can provide around a 33% uptime of the augmented Ebonite, pun intended. So what does that mean? Augmentation Invoker is in position to be incredibly powerful class again, providing the group with massive burst windows every 60-90 seconds. During Breath of Eons, we'll be providing the largest 7-might buff that Augmentation Invoker has ever granted, during the largest accumulation window we've ever granted. He's big boomer.
Dude, August.
I
August
would
back.
actually like to propose a new tier for this, and that's Cope.
Whoa.
August back.
Cope.
August
Oh.
back, dude.
Go.
Oh,
Nope.
wow.
August back, dude.
All
I
right.
want
you.
Og to
Nope.
come back.
You want it to be back?
I want
I
to be
think
back.
August
All right.
back.
I'm going to
dude.
leave it booming then. I'm going to leave it booming.
It's
He's
Oh, no,
excited.
put it in Cope. No,
Back.
but I want it to be in Cope.
What? No, I'm not
I
putting
mean,
it in Cope.
I'm hoping it'll be back so you can put
Oh,
me in
Rigo.
Cope also. 'cause
Rigo is the expert in our community, and I agree with everything he said. So
It will be interesting to see if there is a different type of gameplay loop in the dungeons. If Og impacts it in a different way that maybe is a little more healthy.
Yeah, hopefully.
we'll see.
It sounded like that's everything I'd want to hear if I were an Augmentation Invoker, especially with the raids perspective.
Yeah.
All right, let's do BM. Luckily, Haywire is a man of few words. So Haywire from the Discord. BM Hunter, the only spec that there should be. Ooh. Changes I'm okay with. A lot of the points are valid, and competing for a choice node cooldowns was a problem. You either way respect into a single target or mass AoE and not much between. Minus Season 3's mess up of making BM so powerful with Dark Ranger procs and not very pet related. The changes seem to be in line with the fantasy of massing pets and proccing additional ones to use on your bidding. The more defensive node inside Dark Ranger was removed in the hero talent, which gives the BM damage reduction build a bit more stability. And BM's overall appeal to the masses won't change much. Being a ranged class with no cast time is still the greatest, most fun appeal to the spec. So a little bit more of the same, but also cleaning up some things. I mean, I'm not going to say he's 5 big booming, but he's certainly not dooming, right?
Doesn't sound like they're changing too much with BM.
We'll put at the low
So
end
they're
of
like
booming.
BM is like the standard they're nerfing all classes down to like cognitively.
Not all. Don't start that shit.
Most.
Cognitively.
Didn't they say themselves?
Most. No, most. What are you?
Most.
We said fire and what was it? Subtly rogue were the two that were like they're getting the BM treatment.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Rhett already had it. BM, of course, already had it, but I don't see anyone
Enhancement.
else. No, that they're not going to be on the same level as BM. Are you insane?
Crash lightning every third GCD. What a gameplay loop. Like
Arcane Barrage is like 50 times in a row, and like it's still chaotic as shit.
that sounds like it's BM tier, brother.
Okay, go play
Press the
it.
same
Come on,
button
Lithium.
times in a row.
Tell her how easy
I
it is.
will. I will when they remake it so that my brain can handle it.
I so badly want Scrap to play a ranged DPS. It would be amazing if she did that.
I played BM for I don't remember why I was
BM's
doing
not.
it.
No, that's not the same thing.
I played
No,
marksmanship
BM.
to do the mage tower.
No. I want you to play a fire mage.
I want you to play Affliction. Go play that shit.
I will not play Affliction. In fact, that's what I vetoed when we did the wheel. I don't like dot classes like at all. And it's a dot range class. Who enjoys that?
All right.
I don't think there's a
I
single
think-
person
I
playing
think
it
it's
who
great.
plays
I thought this was going to be a
Affliction
short episode.
Well, because you jinxed it and said it was going to be a short episode.
Mojo for Marksman says, well, the playstyle's not changing, and from what I can tell, it's going to get slower. They're moving damage away from the hero talents, mostly Dark Ranger, into the main kit of Marks. They took away Streamline, which reduced the cast time of aim shot dramatically, so casts will be longer, which means less mobility. Yay. They removed Double Tap, Big Burst Talent, and Razor Fragments. How damage... Is DR damage reduction? Because I feel like Hunter's now been using... Okay. But why are they the only ones using DR instead of everyone else saying just whatever? So how damage reduction Marks essentially did AoE... No, Dark Ranger. That's what DR is. You assholes.
Oh.
How Dark Ranger Marks
damage
essentially did AoE.
I mean, yeah.
They're funneling one target. Honestly, seems like the same exact playstyle, but slower with less big burst. So honestly, kind of bummed about this one, but wait and see. So they are dooming Mojo. Sorry, dude.
Wah wah.
All right. Arcane. Ooh. Arcane is getting simplified. No more needing weak auras for the most part to track how your buffs are. You're gonna have one new buff that will essentially just count up to I think it can go up to 100 or maybe 20. I don't know. But it does seem like it's kind of keeping most of the same essence of the gameplay, which is, well, that's not true. Apparently, they want you to spend your arcane charges whenever you get them. So that's like a big thing. Lithian's looking at his phone right now. He's an arcane mage and he doesn't even care. But
I mean, I'm allowed to look at my phone right now, right? Because I don't care about
You'll
this.
love this part.
Flicky would never.
They're giving a new spell that replaces arcane explosion, so we don't have to be in melee anymore.
My God!
Not that we've
finally.
had to be in for a little while, but
yeah, it hasn't been a big
hate when
deal.
you're like in my space. It's like, dude, there's already not enough space here. Go
Don't be in
somewhere
melee.
else. Yeah,
but
like
the spell
get
looks
out of my
pretty cool.
space.
The spell looks pretty cool, so I'm happy about that. However, they have a build right now where so the spell splinters, the hero spec that I like, has a way to like, I don't want to say proc orbs, but you like generate them faster because the orbs now go off of clear casting instead of giving you free procs. And there's a build where you can have like arcane orb fire
orbs.
out. Well, yeah, like they fire out 3 at a time. And if you can just keep barraging while they're flying out, you'll just keep refilling your arcane charges.
It's wild, man.
And you're literally just a machine gun of arcane barrage. You're like, and it looks fun. It looks chaotic, but it looks fun. How it specs out, obviously, with tuning will be a different story. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think there's anything they did that I was like, oh no. You know, I'm gonna love Arcane just for the theme of it, no matter what. So, I think all the changes seem to be everyone's pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna put them in.
Cope.
Yeah, put me in.
Yeah, it sounds copey to me, but you know, whatever.
We did frost, we did fire, so let's do
Johnny Warlock.
Yeah, well, yeah. Shadow
about
Priest.
Affliction.
Well, let's do Shadow Priest real quick.
Okay, let's do Shadow.
All right, initial feedback. So
Priest?
this is faded from our Discord. So initial feedback, Shadow Priest specific beginning in the spec tree, which is currently the biggest pain point. Having our interrupt in the class tree is finally gone. Healy Priest still do not get one, but for the entire, well, we know that's changed anyways. We've had to choose between damage defensive or throughput. In Midnight, our interrupt vamp and our dispersion is baseline in spellbook, and the beginning of our tree feels way better, so that's good. Only bringing up 2 more things so far, which looks like an actual updated class tree that plays into our coolest abilities. Coming back Spectral Guise, which is actually a defensive gain before we normally pair Fade with Flash Heal. Damage reduction, DR this time, correctly. Or Desperate Prayer to survive mechanics. But with a Special Guise coming back, feels like we can choose and not have to overlap things to live. So also rotation-wise, just the feel of the spec is still missing, so I can't speak on it. He hasn't played it, of course. Void Torrent, very iconic ability being removed, so TBD on that end. Just a few things coming very cool, just a couple things still, lots more. I'm kind of a priest main, so I probably would just type 9 more of these random stuff changes. Linking a tooltip for Spectral Guys. I'm sorry, I didn't have the link. I don't know why I didn't put that there. So you can see it's an old ability from WoD and works like Hunter's Feigned Death. Also, cooldown choice is way more defined in Midnight. Super happy that Dark Ascension is gone, and there's a choice node for Void Form, Ascension gameplay, or just hard. Oh yeah, that's right. They can now like extend Void Form or just do a hard-hitting nuke of it. Hard to go through that, but it sounds like they're booming.
It sounds boomish.
Nope.
More, it's
Boomish,
definitely
yeah.
not dooming.
Yeah,
Dude, I
definitely.
don't fall for the Shadow Priest excitement. It never is good. It's never good. But whatever. Booming is fine.
All right, let's get through the Warlocks as quick as we can. Yeah.
Ugh.
Go on then. I'm not gonna
Undead and Fear have written for Affliction. Friends of the raid.
Why didn't you write for Affliction? The fuck?
I'll be honest. Okay, so I'll tell you why. I read it and I didn't understand what the hell was going on. Just goes to show, like, maybe I'll get more of it when I read what they read. Okay.
Can we all agree we can put Warlocks in the don't care tier?
Yeah, don't care.
I mean, I don't care about any
No
Warlock.
matter what, they're going to complain that they're not meta. While I generally enjoy the other 2 Warlock specs more in the past, playing Affliction this season has been a lot more fun. Looking at the changes coming, I'm optimistic with the design changes. They're starting the removal of Malefic Rapture and Val Taint, which, by the way, are 2 things that I like, but apparently all the Affliction warrants don't like it.
Franklin's Vile Taint.
I do. I love a good Vile Taint.
The only thing Vile Taint is good for is when you're playing the anal game.
Oh my god.
While having
Get that on
Vile
the
Taint up for
soundboard.
the pack was incredibly helpful for applying
bad.
agony, its cooldown is long enough that I tended to experience more downs from not having it than ups from having it. Again, that's not how I feel, but okay. I'm not sure how well the double application of Agony will feel with this new talent, but I like the idea of them trying different ways to make it easier. Malefic Rapture being replaced by Unstable Affliction as a spender is such a quality of life change in my opinion. Yeah, again, I've been hearing that, but I'm not quite sure I understand why. I hate having 2 dots to track on every mob and on top of 2 priority dots to track. Dropping that down to 1 and keeping Unstable Affliction as your big class fantasy spell is nice to me. All right, I'm sorry, I'm taking a pause here because again, as I've been playing Affliction this season, I don't understand the class fantasy of a dot. It doesn't do anything fun, right? Other than being a number.
They afflict. It's like you're spreading plague.
But it doesn't look like you're spreading a plague, right? Like Malefic Rapture, which they said is getting pulled, that made it look like, well, and barely, made it look like you were spreading a plague because you like have little purple waves fly out of you to all the mobs that you have affected.
I don't know anything about Affliction, Frank.
All right, all right.
If you don't like
Overall,
it,
the simplification of the class is having less things to track stack in order to deal do good damage is just pure upside. All right, so I'm going to say they're booming. All right, I can't remember if this is Fear. I think it's Fear, and the other one was Undead. The new Midnight Affliction Warlock is going back to Legion Affliction with some BFA flavor thrown in. Malefic Rapture is gone. Soul Rot gone. Vile Taint gone. Shadow Embrace gone. Warlock Affliction is changing dramatically, and I would call this a rework. Scrap.
he was there for all the rework bullshittery.
Also is gone is Shadow's Embrace, which has been around forever, and I'm having to apply this damage buff on 1 or more targets even before doing damage. No longer is Malefic Rapture, which has been a divisive and sensitive topic. Your damage spender is now being replaced by Seed of Corruption spam, which was from BFA, for multiple targets. Unfortunately, Seed of Corruption currently has a very small AoE radius. Yes, it sucks in retail, so hopefully this is addressed in Midnight. And for single target and priority target, you can have up to 5 Unstable Afflictions, which I think has changed since then, out at a time on a single target or multiple targets, which was how it was done in Legion. This is your hard-hitting dot. It's also Affliction is getting some boomy druid type love, similar to spells Twin Moons, where casting Agony on one target also adds it automatically to another close target. So potentially you can spam Agony on the same target or others around the target of Agony, and it'll do Agony to all targets. Again, that doesn't sound like a good gameplay loop to me, but I guess they like that. This replaces Vile Taint as the way to apply Agony on multiple targets, which was limited to 8. There'll be other targets that either buff or proc free Unstable Afflictions on the spec tree. There's another paragraph here. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut that short just because we've got a lot on Affliction. It sounds like they're booming, though, yeah?
I mean, you sound like you're dooming.
I'm dooming. I'm dooming.
I think you don't like Affliction, Frank.
I think it's unfair for me to weigh in on it because I just don't like Affliction as a spec. And 2, all the things that I do like about it, I all agree. It seems like that they don't want that, and so like maybe they just want to put out dots, and that's what they want to do. Oh, all right, Johnny tips for Demo. Pros, we're getting Doomguard Volley back. Yay, got rid of Grimoire Felguard. They made Felguard in general talent. You know this spec, don't you, Lithian?
Yeah, I know it really well.
Maybe there's a build without Felguard and we can finally use our other primary demons, question mark? Badass Tyrant now made extra imps part of the passive. This is like another language to me. Badass Tyrant now made extra imps part of the passive forcing good 3-shard gameplay only on Hand of Gul'dan, which will feel clunky early. Yeah, go to hell. But I think will pay off in the long run, maybe. Could be really having drawbacks with the Diabolus, possibly in lower end content. Cons. Some talent orderings are a bit lacking desirable placement. Fel Armor and Doomguard Bracers seem to be a bit odd to have Kiss Curse again in our abilities given everything else they're doing. But who knows, maybe they're trying to bring some kind of flavor back. Just feels like a dead talent. Removal of Kata Mist Fire Mage Combustion build-up gameplay of Tyrant entirely with hard-capped imp counts. Again, I feel like I'm reading it like hieroglyphics here. No huge implosion anymore. Removal of imp energy. Can't hold imps anymore between pulls. It's all timer based now. The Apex talents are kind of underwhelming. They basically give back a third dog tier setback. I don't know what that means. Cool damage wise, but they think they should have given us second Charhound. Oh, Charhound to spawn instead. Okay.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Middle 2 talents completely unrelated to the dogs. Again, should be swapped with something else. I'd say something like buffs Charhound damage by X% if they want this to be tuning up. This is cool that it's passive and based on demonic core procs, which is great because they gave back demonic knowledge. Hero talents not implemented yet. I wonder what the implications of succulent shard gameplay or wanting to push Diablos rituals with lower shard count HOGs. Don't know what but need to snipe out procs and low end content.
Hand of Gul'dan.
Okay, what do you think?
Dogs.
I'd say it's Who Let the Dogs Out.
Let the dogs out. I don't know. It sounds kind of doomy, but whatever.
I don't know what I just read, so.
So you should. That tier should be 3 question marks.
Yeah, I think it should be a little doomy, but you can put it in 6, 7, or Who Let the Dogs Out if you want. I'm not
gonna say they're dooming. I'm not gonna say they're dooming. Right?
I don't think it sounds super awesome from what I hear, but I haven't looked at it at all.
What is this tier list? I love it.
I miss
We have Devourer.
I think we need Cope on here.
Oh gosh, not Cope.
All right.
Last one, Ellie.
Johnny
Destro.
Tips also wrote for Destro. So again, I
Oh,
apologize.
Destro. God damn, why are there so many warlocks?
Cool ass Titan Sargeras laser for our
3.
ape. What the fuck does that mean? Cool ass Titan Sargeras lasers for our ape. Super cool thematic.
You know what we're talking about,
Destro.
Destro locks know what they're talking.
Super cool thematic crit haste buff is actually good stat buff and always relevant for Destro. Somehow made boring talents better. Love the AoE implications for keys. Pros, high uptime, Havoc is back, baby. 70% damage on second target, plus 20-second duration on third, whatever. All right. Easy to get 3 to 4 charges of conflagration, meaning a way better uptime on backdraft. Incinerate Instaprocs from Chaos Bolts again. Wish Shadowburn was included. Gameplay will be similar to current retail, or seems like it will be outside of a couple changes possible to opener. Dimensional Rift is still a thing, and a lot of keystones. And a lot of keystones to choose from in general. Oh, I guess keystones on the town tree. On top of that, we get to keep a quality of life when we had gained some extra benefits from Immolate Wither stacks via flashpoint bonus to haste. Cons, internal combustion still exists, ? Minor, but I really hope they never become meta. Lots of lots of extra 2-point nodes for some reason and placements of nodes in questionable areas. Kata being harder to get. Lick of Fire possibly horrible implications for M+. If kiting tank meta is ever a thing, it will be horrible if in goofed up lower end groups. But can totally see this being glorious in upper end content if being tuned basically a second AoE dot similar to Fire Mage's Flame Patch, but for Cataclysm. I think that I like that it's based on Cataclysm and not Rain of Fire, so you don't have to worry about uptime on Rain of Fire to keep it up. Wish Shadowburn was included in at least some of these bonuses. I get why they don't do it for all of them, but it doesn't become the de facto button in an opener when it's supposed to be an execute. I say just make more Shadowburn only usable. Please make it easier to figure out when I can overfiend. Having an internal ICD on overfiend and Dimensional Rift is not appetizing. Lithian, what did I just say? I feel like I just spoke in tongues.
You said a bunch of stuff. It was.
Are they booming?
It was
the ape laser. I couldn't recover from the ape laser.
Ape laser, no.
I think it's booming. Booming. It sounds booming, but I wish. Anyway, no, I'm not.
It sounded like it was booming. It sounded like it was pretty epic.
No, I said I wish I liked Warlock better, but I just don't like Warlocks in general. Like the people who play them. I don't like the people who play them.
When you said that.
Yeah. Those might be our lovely commenters, dude.
One week we should make a tier list of Warlocks we've played with.
Yeah, like I can give every Warlock I played with.
Misor will be at the top of that list.
The problem is
terrible.
Yeah, the problem is most of the Warlocks I have beef with are random pugs who ruin my whole day.
The S tier can be builds houses.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Ellie, we got Ellie. Let's get through this real quick. Mojo says a lot has changed with Ellie, and I don't think it's worth speaking on too much. Okay, as a lot needs to be figured out in Alpha and beyond. The gist is that Stormbringer, preferred M+ spec, will get even more Stormbringers used for instant chain lightnings, with the cost of it being an even further RNG with Tempest, as it will now be a percent proc rather than being determined by Maelstrom usage. Another thing to note is that Ellie is getting a new talent that's essentially replacing Flame Shock with an AoE version of it. That's a 15-second cooldown. I think Enhancement's getting that too.
Something similar. You just don't have to spread it.
Yeah, sends out 6 Flame Shocks to random target.
Oh,
losing,
nice.
Yeah, they're like roping into Flame Shock for Enhance.
Losing Stone Bulwark Totem and Earth Elemental is going to be on a shorter cooldown with less uptime. Kind of shit anyways.
Oh, that's the same with Enhance too, that it's on a choice node, which is bullshit.
Kind of shit anyways, because Earth Elemental is the only real usable on bosses that will just keep insta-die in big packs in M+. Therefore, the only active mitigation button now is Astral Shift. Side note, the uptime on magic damage mitigation through interrupts is going to be higher and at 15%, which is nice. Real quick, just on that. If you don't know, when a shaman interrupts a spellcast, so let's say it's a shadow spellcast right now on live, you get like a increased 10% or 20%, I can't remember, whatever, like damage reduction to that spell class of, you know, shadow, fire, whatever. But I just feel like that's going to be such a rare occasion where you're able to interrupt something that's, let's say, shadow, and then when that buff is active, you're going to get hit by again. Like, that's just such a rare thing. Is it really that great of a buff?
Especially if they're removing all the casts that enemies are doing.
Yeah,
If there's only be like 2 casters in a pack, it's like, that's never going to be a problem if everybody
Well,
can
or
kick
if they only cast like once every 10 seconds or something.
I think it's kind of a flavor thing, like how Taurens have 5% nature resistance or whatever.
Everyone just like lost their mind,
useless.
and I was like, I just don't see it being that.
Why'd they lose their mind?
Because they thought it was like a really clever way to give a really good defensive.
It's clever on paper, but that's not applicable in any. I don't know. Maybe it's like if there's like a bunch of fire guys you're attacking, and like you kick the fireball, and then another guy does like a big fire AoE spell. Like I'm thinking like bosses and stuff. Then it's like, oh, I get a little DR to like I might need to kick it and use that as my defensive against some like kind of big AoE thing that everybody gets hit by. You know.
All right. Well, playstyle. The spec seems now to have more than ever a split choice between fire and lightning playstyle, and who knows which one's going to be better. Playstyle is somewhat the same as, and possibly even easier now that it is in single target because Ice Fury is removed as a talent. All in all, fun changes, but a lot to figure out. Well, all in all,
who let the dogs out?
No, all in all, fine.
It sounds pretty boom.
All in all, fine.
We got our healers left, which they all seem to be in some state of dooming because of the UI. But again, I think the ratio is pretty good so far. You know,
I think about half those in Boomin can be moved to Cope personally, but because we really don't know. Nobody we know has alpha, so we actually don't know how these gameplays are like gonna shake out.
Yeah, but what I've heard from like again, Max is my go-to on this is like most people were pretty happy.
Yeah, but I don't think Max has been in the Survival Hunter Discord or ever touched on his life.
No, he pulled in the Survival Hunter guide writer. Like, that's what he did.
That guy's full cope also. I'm sorry, Double. I think it's Double. I take it back.
Send this link to Double so he hears it.
No, Double, leave me alone. I love you, Double.
Anybody has anything to add on any of these, let us know.
Yes, please do. Yeah. Keep commenting. I know there have been changes since we got these feedbacks.
Yeah, let us know which of these should be actually moved to cope, and then we'll do it next.
I think Blood DK is a troll. It's a troll every single time.
Why?
Because it's always good. Really good. It's always good in beta and alpha, and then as soon as it comes out, it's garbage. Every single time.
Looks good on paper.
They got such a like tough mountain to climb because of this M+ problem. I'm curious to see if they pulled it off.
They're talking about fixing it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So I'm probably still gonna play it. I just don't. I just know what happens, man.
You've been talking about Guardian Druid all week.
No.
He's soft launching, ditching Blood DK.
I'm watching Guardian Druid because I think it's gonna be good, but we'll see.
I think it's the one person that like literally this podcast said I'm gonna play whatever's meta, and he is the only person that plays the non-meta tanks in M+. Guardian Druid and Blood DK.
I love them.
Season,
I love both of them.
It's bear season, I've heard.
If it's bear season, I'll play bear.
I think next season you're going to be Brewmaster, but that's just my personal opinion.
If Scrapclaw comes back, Lithian has to come back.
Yeah, we're doing
If Scrapclaw comes back, then Lithian has to come back.
We're doing Fizz comp with a bear.
Yeah, it'll. I'm just have to bring the bear back.
All right, question of the week. I gotta go to bed. Question of the week from Myro, who ran hard mode. Do you think that Blizzard will err on the side of easy for season 1 of Midnight because, and I'm taking this out of context, because of all the changes with class/add-on? So do you think they're purposely gonna make this easier because they don't want people to?
I think based on the changes, that seems pretty evident actually, that like a lot of they're stripping so many abilities out. I'm hoping because they realize that there's so many required weak auras across classes to play them that they have to simplify it instead of completely revamping the whole like UI structure to like account for all this bullshit they've been shoveling in our faces for who knows how long. Like they're like, we just have to simplify these so you don't need those. So by that nature, it's gonna be simpler. Now, if you're somebody who relies heavily on add-ons, it might be harder at first to kind of get used to not having 13 screaming sounds to tell you what to do. But I think that's also why they're making it easier, because they're trying to wean you off of this, like, these training wheels, right? And like, okay,
Well,
get on the bike, kid. Like,
I think they're gonna overcompensate,
yeah, I'm worried of that too, Lithian.
and they're just gonna make it super simple. Here's the problem I have. Like, I love Guardian Druid, but Guardian Druid is also like the simplest tank out there, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
get any simpler than Guardian Druid. No offense to anybody, because I love playing it. But if they go out and they super simplify every class, I think people are gonna get they're gonna lose interest really fast, and that's gonna be challenging because there's different gameplay loops for like different tanks, right? That I enjoy, like the Blood DK gameplay loop, the Brewmaster one's it's a lot of fun. I enjoy those different aspects of each one of those tanks. If
Mm.
they make them all simple and all like 3-button
Yeah, the
rotations and stuff,
I don't think
homogenizing of it.
I don't
yeah,
think that's what they're aiming for though.
Mhm.
I'm exaggerating, but if they don't give me some uniqueness per tank that I like to play, which it would be discouraging. And I think it'd be discouraging for an entire community of people who enjoy those types of things. So,
You've seen Blood Death Knight though, and that doesn't, if anything, it seems like it's becoming more, I don't want to say complex, but more engaging.
Blood Death Knight is fun because if you screw up, you die. And it has
No,
a
if you
certain
step
level
out
of
of range,
stress.
you die. That's what I see.
Well, if I lose my death strike target, or if I'm not rotating my defensives correctly and I just don't have one for something, then you die. Like
So
it's
you get a kick out of gambling with everybody else's enjoyment.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. But it's so much fun. It's fun to play. Well, you got Pergo, right? As long as you have Pergo in your back pocket, you can make them one
All right,
mistake.
get back to the season 1 part.
But either way, if they like Blood Decay, like if they oversimplify that to the point where, because they're already getting rid of defensives, they got rid of Rune Tap, they're getting rid of the defensive on Lichborn. If they continue down a path where I no longer have the stress that I have today, I'm not going to enjoy playing it as much. It'll be sad for me. So just my 2
Well,
cents.
there's
My
two
you're
ways
gonna
to
have
look at.
to embrace the house gameplay
Well,
loop.
there's two ways of looking at it. Are they gonna make it easier? I mean, we'll still push higher. Like, are we gonna be doing 20s next season? Is that what the thing is? And then the question comes back to, did they like just undo what they did with the Dragonflight key squish thing?
Here's where
Well,
I'm worried
there's
that
another squish coming. So
here's where I feel like my enjoyment will be hurt if I feel like it's easy to pick up any class. Like I don't have, there's no mastery to it, because it's like you can master a class because there's not like a ton of min-maxy stuff that you can do to get better at it. And then I'm going to be much more frustrated by tuning, because it's like, if every class is extremely simple, then why am I not just picking the most over-tuned one? Obviously, like I don't want to. I've never wanted to, but I do feel like now it's like I can play Survival Hunter, and because I've mastered it, I can keep up and even exceed what most of my friends are doing. But if they take away that ability to master it because everything is very simple, then I could see my enjoyment of the game being hurt.
Seeing as Frank has just read like dissertations of warlocks, and I had no idea what he was saying, I don't think we have to worry too much about that.
Yeah.
well, those are abilities,
Well,
and
yeah, I don't know.
you know, I don't know. I'm pretty in front of every single season and every single expansion. I'm very optimistic and I'm very excited because I love the new content. I love the new storylines because all the storylines are great. There isn't a bad storyline in any season.
You're not gonna
We
get a
are
rise out of
trying to
me.
go to bed. Don't wind
Yeah.
her up.
You can't get a rise out of me this late into a podcast. It's actually not possible.
It is possible. It's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for anybody. But like I get excited about that stuff, and I'm super excited for what Midnight's bringing. I'm I'm looking forward to the changes. I'm looking forward to getting rid of all my weak auras and everything else. So I'm pretty pumped about that. So we'll see what happens.
Aya?
I think it's more likely that it will be easier, but I also wonder if there's a universe where they expect us to expect it to be easy, so they try to tune it a little more the other way and accidentally go too far, and it's actually really hard.
It's so hard, guys. We can't get past this plus
But
10.
I think they'll try their best to do it as balanced as possible, but it might end up just being a little too easy.
I believe that there's two ways to look at this: Mythic Plus and Raid, right? I believe that Mythic Plus, since it's all relative, is a moot point. All that'll matter is, are we doing, like right now we're trying to do 15s and 16s. Are we going to be doing 10s instead, or are we doing 20s instead? It doesn't
that's moot,
really,
obviously.
It doesn't really matter because whatever we are doing will still be in line with what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, that'll be more about the class design. How do we feel about that, right? Or like the defensives that have been proven. Which I don't
number
think,
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll be a huge deal regardless. What I'm more worried about in that sense is because it's gotten easier, now we'll be expected to pull the 6 packs instead of 3 or whatever, right? And that annoys me, but whatever. But Raid, on the other hand, I think because we don't play at Mythic level, and I know you do, so maybe you'll have more insight on this. I don't think it'll matter to us because we really didn't lean too heavily on weak auras. We didn't download any of the packs or anything like that. The only thing I cared about was the timers. I just wanted to be able to see when something was coming. There are some bosses where I felt like there was a weak aura required, like the Among Us boss in Sanctum or whatever, Avarice. No, whatever it was called.
No, not Avarice.
The first ones.
Yeah.
That one was like a required weak aura, but other than that, we really haven't needed to use a weak aura. There are some weak auras that, like, okay, Andrew and I think is a good example where like you would chat your icon above your head so everyone can see it very easily. But I think
though, I think.
Well, but yeah, whatever it was. But that would be easy to add as a design graphic in the game if that's what they wanted, right? So I don't think the raid's going to get harder for us. What I'm very interested in seeing, and I think that this is a lose-lose situation for Blizzard, though, is the race to world first. And do they push those raiders to a limit where they are frustrated because there are no weak auras and they need them because Blizzard didn't keep their promise on the design? I think that's unlikely, but like I said, it's a lose-lose situation for Blizzard because either it is too easy, and I'm putting that in air quotes, too easy that like the race to world first is a little trivialized because they purposely made sure they didn't build any bosses that needed weak auras, or it is a disaster for them, and again, it looks like they look like fools on the world stage. Ultimately, what I'm more worried about is the game going to get harder in the next expansion, like The Last Titan, because they stop forgetting their design philosophies that they've come up with, and they start re-implementing the things you needed weak auras for, and we're like numb to it at that point, and then it's like, wait, what the fuck? So that's what I'm more worried about, but I don't think season 1 will be a problem.
Can I give the tiniest aside and then I'll be done? I think that the lack of add-ons, it's going to be shocking at first, but I think we're going to get used to it super fast, especially if they're keeping their promise on making the classes playable without weak auras. Like, I was just commenting today that I can't even imagine a key without the /abandon feature. I was just marveling about it today. I was like, dude, people used to just be able to leave keys. That's fucking insane to me. That like you could just like be like, nah, I'm just like out. Like I can't even
still can.
visualize. Well, you can, but I'm just saying like the /abandon
did like hold, like it's holding people, so it's done its job.
Yeah, it is. And now I'm like, I literally can't even fathom. It's like, dude, people just like used to leave keys, and that was like a couple months ago. And they made a small thing, and now I'm like, it's so ingrained. I've done so many keys that I can't even remember what it was like without it. I think the lack of add-ons is gonna be like that. Like we're gonna adjust. Hopefully, our classes will be playable. That's like the big if. Then we're gonna be fine. It's gonna be like we never had them. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's
I'm sure
fine.
like the mythic raiders who it's their whole life and stuff, they might be salty for longer because it's like just making their job harder and more inconvenient for like the sake of, I guess, extending playtime or whatever. That's gonna be frustrating. But for me, I think who already wants to play light add-ons, like I prefer less add-ons if I can get away with it.
I thought this was a small aside.
That's it. That's the side. It's done. The aside was that I was talking about
I
the
think
Flash Bandit.
all of us in here are on your side, Scrap. Like I'm looking forward to not having to worry about it. I know there will be something, but they're like I'm overall gonna be happy.
Big if the class design and dungeon design lives up to what they're promising. Big if.
I don't see any evidence other than enhancement shaman. I don't see any evidence to be worried.
Well, the
I
evidence
think it'll be fine.
The login screen that you can't trust them. You can't trust them to deliver on, you know.
Anything else you want to add as an aside?
For this or for the last word?
Just last word.
And anything that Scrap cut you off in tonight. I know it's already been tough because you have to push the talk, so you didn't get a chance to slide
I didn't have much to talk about it today, you know?
No. Just if the only thing I would add is everybody in the comments, let us know what you're looking forward to in midnight.
Oh my god.
All right. So next week we will wrap up the healers and our doom and boom, excuse me, saga, and we will do a report card on the War Within. So
unless
if you
there's
guys...
insane news that we have to talk about it for 2 hours.
Yes, of course. But I don't think that'll be that kind of insane news, but sure, maybe. But otherwise, maybe we'll finally get some alpha access to see it ourselves. We're at a point.
This put him in cope.
No. I was only saying that for the effect. But what I was gonna say though, before you jumped in,
I don't have alpha access.
Is that at this point in the last 2 alphas, so phase 4, once they do, I think, an additional week of just like testing everything at once, they move to beta. And when they moved to beta, they didn't give it out, I think, to the pre-orders immediately, but they gave it out pretty quickly. So we could be seeing beta in mid-November. So keep an eye out for that. Again, I would be surprised if maybe the week 1 or week 2 of November, the beta is live and invite access starts going out. But maybe because of the cool, like all the UI stuff, they're going to sit on alpha for a little bit longer. And everyone's freaking out because like they're saying the game's going to come out in February and the UI is not done. The truth is we've all signed that February date. Blizzard could pump the brakes and say we need another 2 months and give it that time, but I don't think they will, but whatever.
Dude, are you going to play that whale that long? We're going to be at 18s, 20s.
Well, let's not get into the wheel. We'll save that for next week. All right. Thank you everyone for an extra long episode. We will do better.
Short.
We'll do better next week. I'm sorry.
We won't do better.
Have a good night.
Until then, that's episode 61. Good night, everyone.
Day, or wherever you are.
Whenever you watch this. See you next week. Bye.
Peace.